Hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode 14 of the Everything Motor Racing podcast. You're joined again by your host. I guess you're your host. We're kind of all your hosts, but yeah, hi, it's me, Everything Motor Racing, Declan. I take the centre stage like Jorge Lorenzo likes to do.
99 seconds of deck.
Yeah. Hello, welcome back to 98 seconds. Woohoo! I'm joined once again. Oh god, no, mate. If I did that, mate, we'd never get an episode out because it'd keep crashing.
Oh,
nice.
Burn.
Sorry, Carol. But yes, I'm joined once again by Jacob from Now Moto.
What's happening, guys?
And then Gary Lee from Pro 53.
How's it going, everyone?
And obviously we've had some good racing, but I'm just going to cut straight to the chase and say Marc Marquez is back.
Is he though?
Hey!
Didn't go anywhere, did he? Didn't go anywhere.
No, he's just been on holiday. That's what it is. It's all fake news. He just wanted a year off.
Yeah, he just didn't fancy riding for a year. That's what it was.
Yeah, no, screw it.
It wasn't even his leg.
No, his leg.
His arm, same thing.
Bro.
Do you know something we don't know?
That's your head, right? He actually broke his leg. He was just hiding it by saying he was an arm.
Yeah, that's it now tomorrow. Crash.net. Marc Marquez actually broke leg and not arm.
As confirmed by Everything Motor Racing Podcast.
By Jacob, I want to say, just in case, the fake news extraordinaire.
Fake news extraordinaire. Oh, yeah, they like a spot fake news, yeah. Good.
Yeah,
there's nowhere else really to go, is there, apart from Mark?
Yeah, got to start there, haven't we?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's... Oh, mate, obviously, what he's been through, 581 days it was since he last won a race at Valencia 2019, which is mental. And, I just can't believe it. He couldn't believe it. Obviously, he was overcome with emotion, which was really nice to see, because he's always normally like that hardened, kind of steel-faced, stone-faced looking guy. And he just couldn't contain himself today, which is great. It was nice to see. It shows everything he went through,
Yeah. It's a great thing to see in any emotion in athlete, but, like you said, that's not necessarily always his character. But, boy, oh boy, what a ride. What a ride. Yeah.
Honestly, I think that alone paid to all the people who say, "Oh, he's just a PR robot. He doesn't feel any emotions. He doesn't do this. He doesn't do that." That's not Marc Marquez. Marc wears his heart on his sleeve.
Yeah, he does. He just doesn't like to show it.
Yeah, quite rightly. It's an emotional time for him. His career could have been over.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't it's on the whole it's a good example, I think. Because as we're kids, men are told, "Oh, man up, don't cry." Piss off. You know what I mean? It's perfectly okay. And I was my lip was going when I saw him. I thought, you know what, Marc, well done, but
fair play, mate.
Did you see him on the podium? He was spread. He was kind of really, soaking it in. Just that feeling of every emotion, every sense. You could just see him just soaking it up, and you just you can't if you don't feel good for him, then you're not a very good human being.
Yeah.
That's basically it. That is it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter who you're a fan of, what things have happened in the past, what he's overcome as a human being, as you as a fellow human being should be able to look at that and go, yeah, fair play.
Yeah, well done. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think on the broader side of things, I still don't think the fact that Honda won't get concessions now is enough to suggest that maybe Honda need an overhaul.
Yeah, they really
just
do.
Papering over the cracks in it.
Yeah, it's once again, it's just Marquez smoothing over the cracks, like you said. Marquez just riding around the issues.
It's literally taping up a collapsing house in it. It might hold it for about 10 seconds, but it's not really going to do much else.
No, it's the thing with Marc Marquez is, this is how good he is on a crap bike. Imagine what they would be like on a good bike, put him on the KTM or something like that.
Yeah,
again, he'd just clean up.
It's not a crap bike for Marc, though, is it? It's Marc's bike.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the
thing. Nobody else's Marc.
You see his interview after, and they were like, this doesn't hide. He said himself, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
hide the fact that we're in, we're not in a great place.
We're in trouble.
Probably do you think that's probably why it was more of an emotional? Because you think he probably could, he definitely would have won races last year, but the bike's arguably worse than it was last year. So potentially he was looking at a drought when he first come back, not just because of his injuries and his physical fitness, but getting on that bike, he must have thought, Jesus,
yeah, what is this? Cheers, Stefan.
To get the win, he probably, wasn't even for him. He put, him more than anyone probably believes in himself, and rightly so. That's the reason he's been so successful. But yeah, he must have known. We're a way off of winning races.
Yeah, this is going to be impossible.
You look at we all talked about Paul Espargaro and how good he is, and he's 15 seconds up the road in 10th place. He's the nearest Honda.
Yeah.
Taka's gamble backfired.
Yeah.
I think Taka would have been closer on a normal strategy. To be fair.
Probably. I think for them, especially today, it was about finishing. In decent, I think how many we only had actually two incidents, because the Alex and Petrucci was one incident, wasn't it? And then Salvadori went. So it's actually only two incidents the whole race, which is pretty crazy.
Mental, really.
Which was quite good, but we'll come on to that. But yeah, with Marc, I think just. Do you know what as well? He didn't look as ragged as Marc does as well. Did anyone think that? He looked like he was riding the bar, but he didn't look as ragged.
Yeah, I agree, 100%. He had his moments, don't get me wrong, with on the right side of the tyre, but it's standard Marc in it, which is nice to see. It's standard Marc.
That 1.5 laps, that 1.5 laps where they brought out the white flag, and then they had the white flag with the cross to say, obviously, it's a flag to flag. That 1.5 laps won him the race because he had the biggest balls. Such a well, he didn't slow down.
That's right. Put on my story. He got a special tank. He got 2 grooves in it. Died his massive bollocks.
Yeah, well, I called it. I think 8 laps to go. I called it, obviously privately, because with 8 laps to go, it hit a point where Oliveira, was cutting off maybe 1/10 a lap. And if you do the maths, Marquez would have still won by 3/10 of the race. I called it, but 8 laps to go, I was like, Oliveira's not going to catch him unless he pulls out something magical,
Yeah, Marc was stretching the rubber band when he.
Did you see Marc's lap time trace?
No, I haven't seen it.
It was very, very much reminiscent of Jorge Lorenzo.
Oh wait, no, I did see that. Yeah, I think about it. Yeah, it was mental.
He was able to just speed up at will. I've said in a previous podcast, Marc would win on a 70s Bultaco, couldn't he?
Yeah, he could.
I don't think that Honda is any better than a 70s Bultaco at this point, so,
Get him on the Bultaco Moto2 machine, see how he does.
Yeah. It's absolutely astonishing. I think, I think in 5-10 years' time, we're going to look back at that and just be like, bloody hell, that was...
phenomenal, really. And he's now still the king of Sachsenring. I was in my head, I was like, oh, well, he's lost that now, it's not going to come... He's lost the... he's just not strong enough, and then bam, Marquez proves people wrong again.
Honestly, how good is that? Where you literally all would just. I think Declan, you had him down as a podium, but everyone was like, it's just unfortunate that we were joking saying he should sit it out for a year, wasn't we? Till he's kind of fully fit and the bike's sorted out. We were saying that he should. He's just his record is that good. At the circuit, it's a shame for it to kind of go in this way. When he's not it's like when someone's got their guard down and suddenly bang, you can kind of stab jabs at them and they're weaker, and yet he's weaker and can still take the thing. Just shows it doesn't matter where. I got laughed at this week because I put an article out saying can Marquez win at the Sachsenring, and basically the article was saying yes without explicitly saying yes he can win. And I got laughed at, and now look at you. Look at you now.
I think the main thing is a lot of people who actually have an idea about bike racing knew he would be stronger.
Yeah, of course.
Whereas, unfortunately, it seems like the large amount of social media, they don't have a clue. So, swings and roundabouts,
Yeah, and I mean, he's done really well. But the thing is, you say, obviously, the large amount of social media. I've still seen comments today, people going, what do they say? They're, he needs to win on a real track, implying Sachsenring isn't a real racetrack.
Sachsenring is a beast of a circuit.
Yeah.
It's a beast of a circuit. It's such a physical circuit. I think we make this joke about, more left-hand turns, Marc's going to win and everything, but we don't realise just how much of a physical circuit it actually is.
Yes.
If anything, it's it's like in all if in all sports you train and you become physically fit doing the event, and then you come to a circuit which is characteristically slightly different, whether it's clockwise or anti-clockwise. The riders, they've not been able to prepare themselves as much for that circuit, so it is normally physically more challenging than your regular circuit layouts even. So I think you see him after the race though, like he was jumping around and they were bashing him on the arm.
Yeah,
and thinking, give it a rest.
Well, he like
the window broke it, bloody hell.
Yeah, like I saw a picture and he was like holding his bad shoulder and like wincing a bit after the Parc Ferme. In Parc Ferme,
they smacked it up.
Yeah, I was like, oh god, here we go, another year.
Done it again, another year. Well, at least he's got a win under his belt.
Yeah.
I think lots of people was it 2010 when Rossi broke his leg?
Yeah.
And then he only missed 3 races.
3 or 4 races,
come back, and I think it was by Malaysia about.
Yeah.
I think it was around about 8 or 9 races in, won again. But he'd been on the podium a few times before that, but that was kind of hailed as like, I can't believe he only missed a few races and then coming back and finishing third in the championship still. But I think this is probably Rossi came back within sort of 3 races, but this is I think even more of a mean feat.
I'd say it's a bigger step.
Yeah. How important the injury was to his ability to ride, the complications, how competitive MotoGP is now in terms of a stacked grid.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
No, what I was going to say as a flip side is, this was probably the easiest in inverted commas that he could have, because obviously there's much less stress on the right side. I don't believe he's back.
No.
But this is a hell of a platform to make a jump from,
It's
and especially after Assen got a 5-week gap. In 5 weeks, that's 5 weeks of just being able to build.
Yeah, go to the gym every day and
being able to just ride and every day without having to stress it too hard. I think after Assen comes back, he will come back
He's going to come back a monster.
Yeah, he's going to be very, very scary for the others.
Yeah,
just goes to show though, doesn't it? He's still the standard. He is the standard.
He is the benchmark.
He is the benchmark.
I think
is still the standard.
I think what you got to judge is how his peers receive him. And you could see that even though they were a fair play in the Parc Ferme, you could see it all over Miguel's face. It was, oh no.
Miguel literally said, he was like, he kind of basically implied that Marquez was always going to win. He was like,
Yeah, but he didn't even need to say it. You could see it in his face. He was like, crap. Yeah. Now what do I do?
I will say, I'll say something quite controversial now that some will agree with, but some won't for obvious reasons. I think this achievement today genuinely puts him in the categories of one of the greatest riders of all time. Without a shadow of a doubt, hands down.
I would be shocked if he isn't already in that conversation. Then you're not that.
No, I back it. I back it. To do what he that would have broken lesser riders, lesser mentally strong riders.
I don't know the names. Forgive me, I did read them earlier, but it's not coming to mind at the moment. But this type of injury has literally ended many riders' careers. Like top right, Carl Fogarty. There you go. Carl Fogarty's career was ended by something like this. Multiple TT wins, 4-time Superbike champion, was ended by something like this. And Marc Marquez has come back at the highest level of sport and still won races.
On a not very sorted bike, which misbehaves. I wouldn't go that far.
I fucking would.
I mean, it's still a bike that's quicker than 99.9% of two-wheel things.
Obviously, but it's not at the same level of the other bikes that he's racing against.
Yeah, which proves Mark makes a difference.
Exactly.
Again, how many times have we said that?
Yeah.
Copy and paste
every time we talk about him.
Yeah, literally every podcast.
But it's I think there were people out there who were thinking, Mark's done. Yay! Unlucky.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think, to have that, not just to go through it, as a human being, but it's not like he's a young, he's still young, but it's not like he's a young rider still who needs to prove himself. He's already won 9 world titles. He will go down as one of the greatest of all time without shadow of a doubt, and this just cements that even more so. But to have the hunger to still want to succeed, you know, it's like anything in life. You become complacent, or, you know, some people can be satisfied with a particular, you know, some people will say, you know what, I won one world title, that's enough for me, I'm done.
You know who comes to mind there? James Hunt.
Yep.
He won one title, so I achieved everything I want to achieve. I'm off to do coke and have sex with women.
Like that geezer
Rosberg did that.
Yeah.
Rosberg did it. He was, you know, won the championship, went on a massive bender for a week, and then a week later told the team,
by the way, I'm not back.
Yeah, I'd still be on a bender now. He won the title in 2014, 15, so that, I'd still be on it now.
Yeah.
9 million missed calls from the missus.
Yeah. Where are you?
Mercedes like, oh my god, what's going on?
Yeah.
Just woke up. Press conference, like, oh well, we expect we're going to be back this week.
But yeah, then he just told the team, he was like, do you know what? I had to put in so much to win the championship. I don't think I can do that again.
Yeah.
I don't think I can actually apply. You know, he said it himself. He had a young family and a wife, and he said, but for me to be at that level, what it takes to win against, like, you know, his teammate was Lewis Hamilton at the time, and he just said, I can't do that. You know, I've got to be real with myself. I can't do, I would prefer not to have to do that, because then, you know, I'm done. That's me done.
Yeah, exactly.
And fair play, very brave choice. But but again, it emphasises the point of how, you know.
Oh, you've got to pour your entirety into it, haven't you? Like, if you half-arse it, you ain't winning nothing.
Do you think, like, how easy it would have been for him to, and we've all been there, you know, you wake up that morning, you've promised yourself you're going to go out for a run, and you look outside and you say, sod that.
Yeah, I'd rather stay.
I'm going to stay in bed with my porridge.
Yeah, that's me done. Yeah, let's watch another couple of episodes of Friends in the morning.
I won't go
cheers,
out, mate.
Cheers.
I've
got
Friends.
Oh my god! I used to like
Raymond.
You're sacked.
Yeah, I used to like you. Friends. Oh,
Friends, my God.
I'm trying to relate to the audience. That's
the audience.
If you watch Friends, I don't think I want to listen to this.
Yeah. What are you doing?
Yeah. Okay. Repeats of MotoGP from
2005. There we go. Yeah, that's better. I'll edit it now, so it sounds like you're saying that.
That's it. Just that last bit. Yeah. That last bit. Yeah, but you know what I mean. You're like, you know, he must have woke up on multiple occasions and thought, I just can't be bothered with physio. Or, you know, a month or 2 months, 3 months down the line, and he's had a relapse, and, you know, he's not making progress, and just thought, do you know what?
I reckon he probably went through a proper, like, depressive phase as well, 100%. Where it just wasn't getting better. So to come out the other side of that,
I guarantee you, like, he would have had, obviously, thoughts of not wanting to continue with the sport, and just maybe thinking, you know, his life's over. Like, what the hell do I do now? Kind of thing.
Yeah, well done to him and anyone who supported him, who was around him, because they deserve a big round of applause, you know.
Yeah.
Like, as much as I don't like Alberto Puig as a manager and as like as a person for Marc, he was obviously such a good support system for Marc that
he touched on it about Repsol, didn't he? He said something today in his after race interview, and you see him get quite emotional about it, and because it wasn't it they confirmed that he offered his like 20-something million salary back to the team last year.
25 mil that he offered us straight back, and they said no, like, because of what you've done for us.
And he kind of he touched on it a little bit, didn't he, in his interview, and said, oh, you know, this team's done more for me than I can, you know, explain.
Yeah, because he wasn't allowed to say some of it, was he? Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy now because Honda have done all this for him. Could he leave in the future one day for another manufacturer now with this?
I don't think this. I think this now cements that he will probably never leave.
I don't know.
You never say never in motorsport. Never say never in motorsport.
Unless he goes with his entire team and with Repsol back in elsewhere.
Like KTM and Repsol have a partnership, to be fair.
Yeah, that's like the only way I would see it is he would have to take everything. Red Bull, he'd have to take basically his entire squad, because obviously they come up from Moto2 with him.
Yeah.
Like Marc is an immense rider, but he would be absolutely nowhere without Santi.
Absolutely fantastic. And Martinez as well.
Yeah, but everybody in that squad, down to the guy who carries his helmets, like everybody in that squad has a role in making Marc what he is. And if you take one of those out, he will struggle more.
Yeah, it's not. Marc Marquez is Marc Marquez, but he's not. This sounds strange. He's not Marc Marquez, if that makes sense. Without his guys around.
I'm going with this deck.
Right, I know that you know that I know that you know that I know that you know.
So Marc Marquez is not Marc
Marquez.
Reference.
No, whoa. Let's talk about that a second. That's a Friends reference.
Did he just?
I'm disappointed in you.
Did you just go round? Did you just do like 4 left turns and then another left?
Oh.
Let's just let that stew a second, shall we? I'm very disappointed in you.
Gary, stop.
Sorry, guys.
What we should do is, after this, we should get Deck to put a poll up and see where people hate more Friends or Minions.
Was Paul running the Minions litigation today?
No, he wasn't. Thank God. No.
I could have sworn. I didn't see much of him, but I could have sworn that when whoever it was who was following at the time, I think it might have been like Rins or something like that. Like, shout out Rins, finished the race. Well done, mate.
Yeah, well done.
I didn't mean that to sound so harsh. I'm so sorry.
I was so sorry.
It's fair.
Well done, mate.
Yeah, I imagine his Suzuki team would just literally be with a sigh of relief, like, we've got to rebuild the bike.
Thank God for that. We can go home tonight.
But yeah, I could have sworn I saw a flash of yellow and some big eyes.
No, may have seen a flash of silver, but
it's his usual lid.
His usual lid, yeah.
Yeah.
Got it in there again, didn't we?
You did.
But yeah, great big shout out.
Like, just to mention Minions every podcast now, just to piss Deck off until the end of the season.
I think the listeners would be really pissed off if we didn't.
Yeah, at this point, yeah, I think you're right. Yeah,
I thought you'd say if we did, but no, apparently not.
Yeah, I think you might be right there. Well, that's settled.
Oh,
Hashtag Pixel sponsorship incoming. Whoa.
Someone brought me over some Minion flags the other day because I've got them in like the McDonald's Happy Meals or something. And someone literally brought me 2.
Don't lie, Declan. Flags. You bought a Happy Meal. Don't lie.
Yeah, I wanted the box to hang up on my wall of the Minion on it.
I was just asking for a friend, but do these come in extra small? Cool.
I'm not going to go there where I was going to go, but...
That's exactly why I laughed. That's why I laughed, honestly, because I was just waiting for you then to just chime in and you held back. I'm proud of you. Well done.
Thank you. Yeah, we don't need to know about Gary's personal life. But yeah, oh God, I don't even know where this is going.
Big summer blowout, yoo-hoo.
Oh, mate.
I love it. Oh, Deck, you're screwed, but you're screwed.
Actually, I should never have said anything, man. Nope. I actually shouldn't have said anything.
It's like Mark, you showed a weakness, but the difference is we can take advantage. Nobody can take advantage of Mark.
Everyone, you heard it. Declan loves Minions so much, he's even going out and buying a Happy Meal for himself.
That's the story.
Just for the toys. For the toys.
That's the story in Ballamore, isn't
it? Oh, wow. Throwback.
Oh, my God.
Throwback. Yeah, thanks for that. I appreciate that. Not.
But yeah, like, if we're just... I think the main thing we can say about this whole Mark thing is just that he is superhuman.
Yeah.
Like, there's no other way to put it. The man is not human. Like, he can't be.
He's just a robot.
Well, he's not a robot because he cried, unless it was just like fluid leaking.
It's fake tears, mate. What it was, right?
It was just a saline solution.
Have you seen iRobot? Is it iRobot? Is that the Will Smith?
Yeah.
Can you?
These clever things, mate.
What it was, right?
That's what we're in.
It's a Spanish conspiracy that Marquez was pretending to cry to get more people liking his social media post. That's what it was. Yeah.
Oh God.
Spanish conspiracy.
Question on the Mark. Flip it slightly. Question: will we now have to deal with people whinging and crying about how saying, "See, MotoGP is not going to be as good because now Mark's going to dominate again," and that argument will kind of rear its ugly head again?
I don't think so, because I think this is more of like I don't want to say it's a one-off, but it's kind of a freak result for the moment because Marquez isn't still there. So like at Assen, I wouldn't be surprised if he finished in 8th place, for example.
It's a very, very, very physical track, Assen. It's probably one of the worst that's going to show up Marc's deficiencies in terms of strength and power at this point.
Yeah, because there's a lot of left to right kind of thing.
He could probably still beat me in an arm wrestle with his weak arm, but I'm not a pig of an RTV, am I? So.
Well, it's his shoulder now. It's not actually his arm; it's his shoulder. It's sapping the energy out of him. So, I don't think we'll see Marquez back at the level he was anyway for a few races. Maybe after the summer break kind of thing. But then, I think that little stupid argument will start to crop up again.
I think the problem is that, even when Marc was winning, it was never boring.
No.
You knew he'd win or come second, fair enough.
Yeah.
MotoGP came so close that it was literally the talent making the difference, not you could say Rossi's the GOAT, but he was, in an era where he was 35 seconds back to fourth.
Yeah, it was quite a way.
You know what I mean?
20-something seconds across the whole field today.
Yeah. 24, I think it was,
This is unprecedented how close it is, and for him to win in that closeness and come back from what is basically a war crime of an injury, it was awful.
Nice, I like that.
Yeah, it's a good analogy.
Yeah, it was. It was should be illegal. But unfortunately, it happened to him.
Yeah,
and it's just
I agree. I agree. I think you just gotta look at it and be in awe of his talent, as opposed to at the end of the day, he's beaten multiple different contenders, as most top people do. If it was just the same two people out front, every single race, every single year,
Hambot vet.
It can become stagnant. It could be it could become slightly
F1 is
stagnant.
Exactly the example of what MotoGP shouldn't do.
Yeah, we don't want Hambot vet rearing its head in MotoGP.
Well, at the minute, it's
Verstappen. Verstappen. Yeah, was it Verstappen?
Verstappen, Hamilton, then Mexicano, whatever his name is. Sergio Perez.
Yeah, Checo.
People who haven't watched F1 are going to freaking hate me now for giving away that.
If you haven't listened to it by tomorrow morning, and you
to be fair,
listen to the podcast beforehand,
that's one thing that I do wish MotoGP would do. Literally about half an hour after the race, the highlights are already on the YouTube F1 official channel.
Yeah.
I don't watch the races now because, up yours, Sky Sports, I'm not paying money for that.
Yeah.
But, it's I'll go and watch the highlights about half hour after before it's even had a chance to be ruined on social media. It's great.
Mad.
So it's kind of on you if you get that ruined.
Yeah, for sure. I think, whilst we're on the topic of four wheels, I want to give a massive shout out to F3 race winner Jack Doohan today. Because he won at the Circuit Paul Ricard, and 25 years ago, his father Mick Doohan also won at the Circuit Paul Ricard. Obviously,
fate, didn't it?
Yeah, it's just fate, and I followed Jack's career for a few years now.
Oh, here we go.
I'm just happy for him more than anything, mate.
Well, I followed him for years. Clout.
Yeah. Well, I followed everyone for years. That's what it is,
Yeah.
This the next world champion. Yeah, mate. I've already followed him for years.
Yeah. I followed him since he was a twinkle in milkman. Yeah.
Mate, I was there when he was born, mate.
I was making a conception.
Oh God.
Speaking of four wheels, that does actually lead me great into the next thing I want to mention. A certain Mr. 46 is rumoured to be retiring and
Nicola
going to cars.
Balega's going to car racing. What?
Well, Balega's 11 now, so that doesn't work anymore.
Shut up.
Rossi's apparently is going car racing with Kessel, who run him in the Golf 12 Hours, and he's rumoured to go GT3 endurance racing with them in a Ferrari, keeping the Italian connection going.
The source on that one is Gazzetta Total Sport, before you come crucifying us for giving you that information. Gazzetta Total Sport, it's your fault if it's fake news.
The Gazzetta dello Sport.
Gazzetta dello Sport. Hey, screw Italians.
Also known as the pink paper in Italy.
Okay.
So you were wondering which one it is. It's the pink one. So now, that gives you credibility, apparently.
And you're screwed if you're colourblind.
That means you know which one to burn when you go to Italy.
Oh, it's a yellow paper. What's going on?
What?
What do you make of the rumours?
I can see him being very true.
Yeah, it's pretty much expected him to 4 wheels, to be honest.
Well, he's got such a history of competing in 4 wheels across GT and rally, anyways.
Yeah.
Well, he was nearly an F1 driver, wasn't he, at one point in 2007? So
Well, yeah, 06 they offered him a contract for 07, and then again in 2012.
But with Sauber. And in 2009, when Felipe Massa had that really horrible injury where the spring hit him in the head, they tried to get Rossi in to replace him. It turns out it wasn't feasible logistically, and ended up not getting it. But Ferrari have tried multiple times to get Rossi.
It was because he was so blooming quick.
Yeah, well, he was half a second off Michael Schumacher on Fiorano in the current car.
It's mad, isn't it?
After 2 days of testing, that was
the man's a freak.
He tested in Circuit de Catalunya for Ferrari on an open test, and he was 0.6 of a second off of Kimi Raikkonen and Fernando Alonso. He was Kimi who was in the McLaren at the time, and Alonso was in the Renault, and he won the championship that year. And his first official, obviously he'd done a lot of driving for Ferrari before that, but he's done the Golf 12 hour.
12 hours, yeah.
Yeah, he did,
Luca, doesn't he? Did he win it? Did he win it?
I think
won his class,
2019.
fifth overall.
Yeah, with Luca Marini as well.
Yeah, they won their class and come fifth overall.
Yeah,
against LMP1 cars.
It was
real.
What was that? It was Marini,
I still maintain that Rossi chose the wrong path.
And at that point of his career, he should have gone F1.
I know, from the start, I think he's more talented on 4 wheels than 2.
And you're saying that about a 9-time world champion. That's
Imagine what he could have done in F1, man.
I do think, as a Ferrari fan, and I was a Rossi fan as well. So for me, it was gutted that he didn't take up the opportunity. But
honestly,
I think he'll just go and enjoy himself now.
Absolute in 4 wheels.
But I think he has, isn't it? Wasn't it the Italian rally event that happens at Monza?
The Monza
rally.
He won it. Was it 9 years in a? Was it 9 years in a row he won it?
Something stupid like that, yeah.
Yeah, he done it. Like something 9 years in a row or something like that. He won it, which is crazy.
Yeah, I know it sounds bad to say, but I do genuinely think he was better on 4 wheels.
That's a really bold statement, but you can.
Massively.
But there's actually warrant behind what you're saying. You're not discrediting his quality on 2 wheels.
Oh no, he's still one of the best ever on 2 wheels, but I think he was even better on 4.
Yeah.
I think he's just one of them talents that, he done a test recently at Jerez where him and Lewis swapped cars and bike.
Valencia.
Valencia, yeah.
Was it Valencia? Was it?
Yeah, for Monster Energy, yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was over at Jerez, but it was with through Monster and stuff, and he was. They just said he was so good, like he was so on it straight away.
Well, he was in a 2-year-old car, and his performance would have put him something like 14th, 15th in a grid.
Mental, isn't it?
Mental. That's an old car with less downforce than they were running at the time. It's nuts. So if he does go car racing, I think he could genuinely do bits and win titles over there. You know.
How cool is this going to be then? So he does it. He does the Yas Marina kind of Golf 12 hour with in a Ferrari 488 GT3 Kessler also run in Le Mans in the WEC Championship, and we know from
that was my thinking.
Imagine he goes and the thing about GT racing as well is that drivers go on for well into their 50s and are still very competitive.
Look at Alan McNutt, for example. He's a really good example. He's still at the top, like for Toyota, and he's like 50 odd me.
Yeah, well,
he's been doing it since I was like the idle grasshopper, and he was old then.
Tom Christensen was how old was he when he retired, and he was still winning.
Yeah, he was like 50 odd. Yeah. I'd see no reason, especially with the hype car rules at WEC now, that Rossi couldn't step in and win Le Mans.
That'd be mental.
How stupid would that be?
I think he would be the only one to win a Le Mans and a MotoGP title. I can tell you that much.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think Rossi should go and do a season of Moto E.
I've said that because imagine the amount of people who would watch Moto E.
Mate, the pull on Moto E would be mental, and it's kind of similar machinery. I think you'd do all right, isn't it?
People that actually talk about it.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the level in Moto E is higher than a lot of people think. I don't think he'd dominate.
No, he wouldn't dominate,
but
he'd do
compete.
well. He'd get a 10th title over, what, 6th class?
It's still an FIM title at the end of the day.
He can get a 10th title, you know. Somebody did say it to me the other day, and I was like, nah. And then actually I had to think about it. I was like, yeah, fair play. Like, because they'll have the 125, 250, 500, MotoGP, and the Moto E title. You know, he's gone from the 2 strokes of the decades ago to the electric machines and take another title. I think that would be class. And he'd jump over his 122 wins of Agostini potentially as well. What if he did golf racing and Moto E?
Well, he could because the calendar's not... and that's the thing about WEC is doing the World Endurance, is it's not as full-on a calendar as you know, F1 or GP is. Yeah. So he could easily do it and forge himself. And just to think of how great it would be for MotoGP as well, having Rossi compete, you know, like how good it was. Alonso had a couple of years out of F1 and did WEC and, you know, had an attempt to Indy 500
the Triple Crown, didn't he?
Times. Yeah, and he's running 4th, wasn't he, with like 10 laps to go at Indy, and his engine bloody blew up.
No.
He would have won it. He would have won it. Yeah, he would have won it. He was running his first ever IndyCar race, in the Indy 500.
He's the fastest ever rookie still now.
Yeah, and then didn't qualify because the team tried to do their own team as opposed to do it with Andretti the second year.
Yeah.
But he then went and won Le Mans, the Le Mans 24-hour 2 years in a row, and the World Endurance Championship. So he's a 2-time Formula One world champion and 2-time World Endurance world champion. Plus, you know,
probably would have won an Indy. You know, like Rossi could potentially do some form of a triple crown.
Yeah,
it's just one of them would be MotoGP titles.
Well, is it Surtees is the only man to do bikes as well as
I don't think that'll ever be matched, to be honest. Like it just I can't see it. Like it's two such different disciplines now.
I can't see anybody winning an F1 and a MotoGP title anymore because like Jacob said, you either do one
unless
or the other.
you win the MotoGP title at 21 and then move straight over. That's the only way it's ever going to happen.
Yeah, and like thing is, you'd have to relearn everything.
19 MotoGP world champion, and then straight up into a Red Bull.
Go on, mate.
So basically, if you message either of us, just like say to us, like, how good do you think that would be with Rossi going to Moto E? Or would you think, I don't want to see Rossi on an hairdryer?
No, you think of the attention that it would get.
Yeah.
As long as he did okay.
Yeah.
If he didn't do okay, it would probably do no good.
Oh, the Charger was ruined. Yeah, that's what it is.
But he's got the Petronas have a Moto E team as well, so it's not like he can go anywhere. He can stay in the same team.
I love the fact it's not Petronas though.
Yeah, it's not because they're an oil company.
That's what gets me about Tech 3's Moto E, sponsored by Total.
Oh yeah,
mad, isn't it?
Total high performance oil. Yeah, turning your electric bike all the time.
Woohoo! Fry the engine. Whee.
It's the lubricants, isn't it?
Yeah, there'll probably be lubes and all that.
Yeah. But, I see absolutely no downside to Rossi, like either going car racing or going to Moto E. It's better than him staying in MotoGP for me.
He could do both, you know, and he wouldn't be sitting around in 20th place like he is now in MotoGP. He can go and do both, smash it in the cars and smash it in Moto E.
The thing is, with Rossi, I will say in his defence that he's going faster than he ever has. It's just the games move on.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. I would spot on agree. He's going faster, but MotoGP's going faster than he's going fast.
Yeah, literally, the game's well, Maverick's problem is that big squishy thing between his ears. Like,
yeah, I want to go on to him in a minute, but I want to finish this Rossi thing.
Yeah,
quick.
But I see absolutely no downside. If Rossi was to go to cars / Moto E, spot on, because his pole would promote either championship, and it would free up a very good Petronas seat for a rider who could possibly do better on it.
Yeah, fair play. I think, you know, you got to just take it for what it is. He's not a 25-year-old who's all of a sudden fallen off the cliff. You know, he's still as passionate. Yeah, He's 40. You know, he's given.
That's right.
You know,
That's right. I said the deck. I said to him, there's probably 20-year-olds out there whose parents are younger than Rossi.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
That is mental, isn't it?
It's crazy.
You think, like, I mean, he's given, you know, his life to motorsport and to bikes, you know, and still, once he stops racing, his legacy, you know, with the academy and with how he's helped build the, you know, bravado around the sport and stuff like that will live on forever. So you can't begrudge him anything he does.
No.
He'll always have a pull, and I think you just see you see him on the side of the pit wall at every single Moto3, Moto2 race.
Yeah, you
watching,
do. Yeah.
You know what you see him. You know, he's happy. How happy he is for the young lads, even if they're not part of his academy. Just to see young riders succeed,
he loves it.
You know, he loves it, and you can't
fault his love for the sport.
But so basically,
but I think that's his issue.
We're the same as Valentino Rossi. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, we are Valentino Rossi.
We're all a 9 times world champion. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
I think that's the problem though, because he loves it, he can't let go.
Yeah, I think it's like
if someone said to me tomorrow, "Oh, you could never ride your favorite bike again," I'd be crushed.
Yeah, I think it's like an abusive relationship. He can't leave because he doesn't want to miss the thing that he loves that much.
Yeah, I don't think it's a case of not riding, because I think he'll, you know, he's wealthy enough and got enough connections that he'll be in his 60s and 70s, and, you know, everyone, you know, you're at a Grand Prix, imagine, you know, you're at Mugello or something like that, and they'll go, you know, like Rossi's going to do some, you know, practice laps. That'll be the highlight of the weekend, regardless of what's happening in the racing.
Agostini still goes out and does it.
But you know, there is nothing for Rossi. Obviously I don't know the guy. Like, you know, not going to claim to, you know what's going on in his head.
Best mates for Rossi, mate.
Oh, friends,
yeah.
Rossi.
He told me this the other day.
Oh, mate, I've been watching Rossi for years, mate. I've been following his career for years, you know. Yeah.
You were there at the beginning, when you're there.
Oh, I liked it in CIV, man. Yeah. I think what he doesn't want to do is not race the Yamaha. Because the Yamaha is his.
Racing.
Yeah, the Yam is his, isn't it? Like, he helped develop that into a winning machine. It's still almost in his image, as it were.
Yeah, he is a Yamaha man.
Even now, like, he still looks like the 04 Yam.
Well, imagine it must be difficult for him, though, because he's on the ranch and he's, you know, keeping up with and beating some of these academy boys on the ranch and stuff like that. So it must be quite difficult, because then you think, oh, actually, you know, I have still got it. And then you get on a GP bike and it's a bit different, you know.
Yeah, and you're like, ugh.
But you can't, you know, it's only like every sport you see, don't you? And you think, like, you're like, football's one where you see a player playing and you're like, why the manager picked him? He must be an absolute worldie in training, and the manager's just hoping that he will then relay that into an actual match. But it must be the same for Rossi. It must be. He's like, still got it as he gets off, and then gets to the GP and unfortunately can't, you know, relay that into the results that he sees on it. But that's, again, it's probably a highlight of just how good he is on everything. He's one of them guys who's just good on everything, no matter what he rides or gets in terms of 4 wheels or 2 wheels. Yeah,
if it's got an engine, Rossi will be fast on it. Simple as.
Yeah.
But
lawnmower racing.
Good. Whatever he decides to do, good luck to him. You know, and you know, we'll all be watching still.
Of course, yeah, following along for sure. I mean, obviously his team's going to make a big step. There's an announcement coming this week. Well,
we all know what that announcement is, don't we?
Yeah, the announcement will be obviously that he'll pair up with Ducati for next year, and obviously he'll have
Luca gets a 2022 apparently, and Bez gets a 21.
Yeah, which is stupid considering
Bastianini is supposedly only getting a 2021 at Gracidi.
Yeah, whereas Marini's getting a 2022. So
Bastianini is seeking to modify his contract.
Ooh, yeah, good. I heard that as well, yeah.
So, thing is, though, it's a Rossi contract. Rossi's going to get the best of because it's Valentino Rossi.
Well, that's it. Bez and Luca will be on a Rossi contracts, not Ducati contracts, aren't they?
Yeah, so Rossi can finance them getting good stuff, you know. And it's mad to think Rossi... It's really ironic, actually, that Valentino Rossi's time at Ducati was terrible, and yet he's got an academy rider riding, 2 academy riders riding for them, and then next year he'll have 3 and a full-blown MotoGP team running Ducatis.
Well, he's still part of the Ducati family because of the Ferrari connections, isn't he?
Yeah, which is fair. So, but it's just mad.
They love it, don't they? They'd love to go back and rewrite that wrong, shall we say?
Yeah.
So if they can do that in any form, then it will be just for rules, and everyone will forget about the struggles of him.
Yeah.
At least he gave it a go.
Nobody will forget that. I don't think that's the problem, because it was
fair play to him, though. Again, it's just a fair.
I always said that's one of the things.
It wasn't. I mean, it was bad in the sense that Rossi was winning, and he only had a few podiums, but
he was better than any Ducati rider at that time, apart from Stoner.
6th and 7th. I mean, he literally had one that year. His second year at Ducati, he had one retirement, because I was looking at it the other day because someone was asking me and saying how poor he was, but he never finished a race out. In the 2 years he was there, he finished one race outside of the top 10.
That's impressive.
No, honestly, I thought,
you look across, you look on it, and it's 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 4th, 6th, a couple of 10th places, but. Yeah, I think it was just because he went from, winning every, championships and finishing 2nd and 3rd and
I've always said
7,000 years before that.
I'm not a Rossi fan by any stretch, but that's the thing I've always respected him the most about, is the fact that he put it on the line to go to Ducati.
Yeah, he just literally.
You don't even need to expand on that, really. It's just respect for that. That's the thing I've always respected him for the most.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Right, so we're moving on to an interesting one that's quite literally just broken, really, some news. So obviously, I wanted to talk anyway about Maverick Vinales, who seems to have just finished last, and he's got kind of, I would like to say, there's something mental in his head now. It's not a case of it's not a case of Maverick Vinales being slow. It's a case of him having a massive mental blockade now, because he is not a slow rider, and we know this. Something, somewhere, somehow is slowing him down and stopping him from racing.
Yep.
I used to be a massive fan of him, but he's changed, his personality a lot when he was at Suzuki to Yamaha. Something shifted in him massively. I don't know what it was.
He's deficient in something now, isn't he?
Yeah, there's something missing. I can't put my finger on what it was, but the guy I remember at Suzuki and the guy I remember at Yamaha are completely two different guys. I don't know what it is. He's less happy, he's less smiley, he's more serious, and there's just something. He's just had a kid, he's just got married, it should be the happiest time of his life, and yet it's not translating into results on the racetrack.
And here he is out here. Could I just, to start this, could I just read what he said to the race?
Mm-hmm.
So, on about being behind the Ducatis. And he's admitted that he deliberately dropped back to dead last. Listen to this. So basically, when I spent 10 laps there, I said, okay, I'll go back, I'll take fresh air, and I will try to collect data and see how the bike is working alone. I could make no 1 minute 22 laps at the end of the race, which is not bad. While behind the Ducatis, I was making 1 minute 23.5 laps. It's a big difference. What's on?
That's mental.
Say what?
Well,
what's wrong with him?
That's well, I'm reading a bit.
I know, I'm not. I'm just sat here, right? And I am genuine. That's boiled my piss. What is wrong with you? If I had a rider, right, who admitted that he dropped back to dead last to try and get data, mate, you're not a test rider. Sort yourself out. It's that simple.
I want to interject.
I'm mid-rant. Hang on.
Oh, fucking hell.
Because, if I was his team manager, I would genuinely be looking at sacking him on the spot for that. Because
this is where you're wrong.
Why are you collecting data for a bike that, if you continue performing like this, you're not going to be on next year?
Yeah. Well, he said on the same article that I think you're reading, he said that Yamaha told him to go out and collect data and work.
So what?
That's
completely different. So basically, he said that Yamaha said to him to go out and collect data and work. But Vinales has basically said, and what do I do? Do I finish 23rd? I'm not here to finish 23rd or collect data or be a test rider. There comes a time when you say that, and it seems like a lack of respect. Basically, he's being treated like a test rider, and like you've alluded to, gathering data. But I think that was more Yamaha telling him to do that more than he doing that himself. Yamaha told him to do that.
Well, I'm not being funny. He's supposed to be a championship contender. he can quite easily say to Yamaha, no, I'm not doing that, sack me, I'll find a ride elsewhere. If you're bringing in constant top 4s, top 5s.
Yeah.
Someone's going to want to pick you up.
Exactly, yeah. But the thing is, he said he was tempted mid-race to pull into the pit lane.
Like, that the man's head's gone. It's gone. Like, gone.
Yeah.
There's no commitment between the years anymore. Like, he is mentally checked out of Yamaha, and I would not be surprised to see more than one Yamaha seat become available for 2022.
Yeah.
I think that it's an odd one because, you know, obviously it's not like he's dropped back from a podium position. But still, that's, you know.
But like,
at what point? So at what point did they? You know, they said like, you know, after what, like 10 laps or so. So you've still got, you know, the best part of you know, the race left still.
Yeah.
I just don't understand. You've only got to look at Pecco to see how well he recovered to say if you're that good, then you could recover pretty well still.
Yeah. I mean,
to make that choice. I just don't get it. I really just don't get it. Honestly, from a rider's perspective and a team, that screams to me a breakdown in relationship from both fronts, from a rider's confidence in his team and the team's confidence in the rider. That's what that screams out to me.
Yeah,
I think
shows the difference between a rider who is very, very much under the weather in terms of confidence and the rider who is riding a wave of confidence and being higher than he's ever been in Pecco.
Yeah, I mean, I'm literally reading an article now, like, whilst we're talking about this, it's in Spanish, so I am translating it.
This has just broken, though, so, you know.
Yeah, well, he said...
¿Qué pasa?
Yeah, basically, he's saying, obviously, because he's had Silvano Galbacera, I can't pronounce that.
That was right.
Nice. So he's basically said, obviously in Spanish, so I am translating this roughly from what I'm reading. So he's basically said, no one asks me how I'm doing. You know, we continue to work and we arrive at Assen, where theoretically, this motorbike will function well, obviously because the Yamaha do well. But he says he doesn't really know how it'll be in Assen. It's difficult to say. I think it'll be the exact same as here. I'll continue to work and recover data, but it's sad that this is how it is. You know, and he always has the same problems. And he always goes on the same... I don't know what that word is. But he said, it's true that we're working, but there is no solution. He is literally up shit creek with that paddle.
Yeah.
Like, this is the guy that won the first race of the season. How mental is that?
Yeah. From winning to this. Jacob's speechless.
I just... Honestly, I just sat here and I'm just chewing my own rage at him. Like, I don't want to go off at him too hard because, you know, he's clearly struggling mentally and it's pointless. You can't be attacking someone who's struggling with mental health. You can't.
Yeah.
Like, but something has to be done.
100%.
Like, because you can't... it's only going to get worse as well. Like, this is a no-win situation. He's just got the shovel and he's trying to dig his way up, but he's going deeper.
Yeah, he's just continuing.
Honestly, he's boiling my piss, but for all the wrong reasons.
It is painful because we know that Maverick Vinales was meant to be this guy that comes in and beats Marc Marquez, takes it to Marc Marquez, and he did for about 5 races, and then bam, he just suffered issues.
The tyre change went on that. Like, that's fair enough, you know. Like, it did completely cock up the Yamahas, which is fine.
Of course, yeah.
Like, you know, that's a fair excuse. Like, and it took him a while to get back to it. But looking back, is it the case of, was it the tyres or was it just Mav getting squishy brain again?
The thing is, though, yes, you have issues with the tyres, but as a factory Yamaha MotoGP rider, you should either be able to, 1, work around the issues like Marc Marquez does, or B, fix it ASAP.
1 or B.
Yeah. But, you know, Yamaha have got Cal Crutchlow as a test rider, and they're barely using him.
At this point, I would be tempted to sack Vinales off and put Cal on it for the rest of the season. No joke.
Yeah.
Because Maverick needs Maverick needs time to go home and readjust.
Even if it's a break.
Yeah, like, he
just
needs
give him a break.
GP. He does.
Yeah.
Like, the best way you can look after Vinales almost is to save him from himself.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, like, we're all about mental health, and then these riders are clearly struggling. No one's doing anything. You know, I would say, obviously, physical and mental health are on par. If someone has a broken arm, you don't make them race. You sit them out for a few races. He's got a broken brain, mate. Just sit him out for a few races.
He's got the equivalent of a concussion right now.
Yeah.
His head is not right, and it could end up dangerous. Like, genuinely. I'm not just being dramatic. Like, what if he just decides, oh, fuck this one day, and then just decides to, like, give it a handful of throttle in frustration and throws himself to the moon? Well, then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
I don't think yeah. Do you know, we mentioned about, he again, I don't know Vinales at all, but just, speaking from an outside perspective, do you mean he's obviously struggling? He's not happy with the bike. He's not happy with the situation within the team. He's just become a father as well.
He's got the stress of a baby.
Yeah. But it's just your priorities then have to, you have to make a real either selfish choice or make a life choice. You have to make a life choice where, actually, do you know what? He's not willing, and I don't say this lightly at all, but he's not willing to make the ultimate sacrifice because he's now a father.
Yeah.
And I mean that in the most tasteful way.
No, you weren't wrong though. That's the thing. Like, I don't blame him. Like, if I would never like go for something that I would have done before I had kids. It's just
it would be easy. It would be easy for him to turn around and say, again, we don't know the situation, but it would be very easy now. I would imagine that he's not short of a few quid. He's been involved in GP for quite a while now. He started 112 races. So it's not like he's had a short career.
No.
So this will be I think this is his 6th season in MotoGP, like full season in MotoGP.
Yeah. I just don't understand what he's doing at this point. It's not working, and come on, man. Like, something needs to be done. Like, I genuinely went into this like on a rant, thinking, blah blah blah, and then halfway through, I just thought, actually, I feel really really sorry for Vinales right now.
But is it him? But then we talked about what happened with Quartararo at the end of last year. You look at the situation with Morbidelli. You look at the situation with Rossi. Is there just fundamentally something wrong with how Yamaha are managing their riders?
Like a Ducati style, like
like Ducati used to be. Ducati used to be. You guys covered the whole Ducati podcast where you talked about how they literally used to just be, if you say, like the old Enzo Ferrari, you say anything bad about Ferrari, you are fired.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Yeah, but you've got to look at it from that perspective as well then. Obviously Quartararo went through all of those crazy issues last year and sought outsource help. Yes, he obviously is doing great this year. Maverick's, gone through quite a bit from being what was touted to be the golden boy who would challenge Marc to barely beating Rossi last year, and they're telling everyone Rossi's got to retire. And now he's got another young teammate who's come on board, and he's absolutely trumping in. Yeah. So he's clearly fast. It's just
he knows what he's doing. It's not like he's lost. He's a world champion. He's not going to lose it overnight, is he?
Yeah, he's Moto3 world champion. Yeah, exactly. He's a Moto3. He's a world champion,
and he smashed it in Moto2. Like, he is one of the fastest Moto2 rookies ever.
He only spent one season in Moto2, didn't he?
In Pond's team, and absolutely smashed it.
That's just.
But yeah, then you got to just look at his results from last year and this year. There's so many peaks and troughs. It's such an up and down. You talk. Like, I think you hear people go, "Oh, Maverick's head's gone," but strange, isn't it? It's strange because the team again must be seeing something for him to stay there.
I mean, they keep hiring him prematurely before the wheel's even been turned.
That's what baffles me. Like, you've been burnt once before.
Yeah.
And the only thing I can think, decision though.
The only thing I can think is that they almost don't want him, but they don't want anyone else to have him, kind of thing.
Yeah,
that's the only thing I could think.
At this point, like, he'd be better off going back to Suzuki and chilling out, less stress, or even maybe put him on a Aprilia.
Put him on a test rider. He's the testing champ.
Yeah, true.
It's really difficult to judge, and we talked about how fickle sport can be. It's really difficult to judge because you look at his results for Yamaha since he joined them from, third in the championship, fourth in the championship, third in the championship.
Yeah.
Last year, let's just call it the COVID year. So it was a bit of a whitewash. He had a win and a few podiums, but last year was a dreadful year for everyone. So forgetting last year, you have to look at 2019 results.
Yeah.
And he had a decent year. He finished third in the championship in a proper year. Multiple wins.
But never looked like getting anything other than wins, So
it's difficult. I suppose it's difficult as an employee to say after the global, you don't know what's gone on in people's personal lives with the global pandemic and stuff like that. It must be difficult to juggle. You can't really say last year, based on last year's results, we need to out someone. So I suppose that's why this year is so important. But the biggest change there has been between his results has been last year, where things just went, to pot for the world. So it's a tricky one.
Yeah,
it's a tricky one. Maybe the team no more.
Until 2022. Yeah. So he does almost have the security if he wants it, which makes it even more baffling. What's going on to me? But there we are.
It makes it more baffling because it doesn't seem as if the team are giving him it really doesn't seem as if the team are giving him as much support, because they're not very vocal about why things are going wrong. That's what always baffles me. You always know when a rider's at least trying hard or the team is giving them support, even if it's in the public eye, because the team comes out and says, oh, well, we still trust him. He's getting, we've just got these issues. But they're just so focused on Quartararo at the moment with their new golden boy. I think we look what's happened with Morbidelli. He finished second in the championship last year, and it's as if he doesn't even ride for Yamaha.
Yeah, he was second to last.
Do you know what I mean?
That's the thing. I reckon that is the crux of it, is that Vinales knows he has the spectre of Frankie Morbidelli behind him, and a rider who is already on a Yamaha who could easily come in and replace him. And I think he's overdoing it.
He could genuinely just replace him. Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
Maverick Vinales.
Be honest. Would you choose him for your team? Out of all the riders that are on the grid available for next year, would you choose him?
I would not. Like the only place I think he could ever do anything now is going back to Suzuki.
Yeah, absolutely. He should never. I will argue this till the cows come home. He should never have left Suzuki.
I can see why he made the move before, but looking back, it was the wrong call.
Yeah, obviously at the time, because we've got. Obviously, hindsight is a wonderful thing, At the time, Jorge Lorenzo had just stepped off it. It was a previous year, 2015 championship winning bike. Yeah, yes, Marquez had beat it in 2016. But it was a bike Jorge Lorenzo had battled with Marquez for the title with all year long. Vinales took a win at Suzuki and some podiums. And suddenly that eyeing thing of, wow, a Yamaha factory ride next to Valentino Rossi.
Greener, is it?
Yeah, exactly. There's a ride there next to Valentino Rossi. Of course you're going to take it. You're an idiot if you don't. But I would argue now, to the cows come home, he should never have left Suzuki. But again, that's hindsight for you.
Yeah, if hindsight could be bottled, everybody would be rich, wouldn't they?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
So, I don't see what he could possibly do other than take time off now. There's no... His problems are when he's behind riders, and now he's always behind riders. So the only thing he can do is win, and he ain't going to win with his confidence. So it's catch-22. He's chasing his own tail.
Like you said, he's just running around in circles.
Yeah, honestly,
that's the thing, is he's had such an up and down season. What's his results been? He won the first race.
Yeah, he won the first race, and then he slowly not even slowly. He's been on a massive decline.
He's got a couple of fifths. He was fifth in Catalonia, wasn't he?
Yeah, he did all right.
That's the problem. But then in France, in Portugal, he was 11th. So
it's just
19th
mental
today. 19th.
It's utterly.
Do you know what? We said it when Fabio should have been black flagged in Catalonia. We said the team should have saved him from himself. They need to do the same now with Maverick.
Need to, like you said, they need to swap him out for Cal Quattro. Cal Quattro is fast enough. He could probably get on that bike now and box it.
Do you think do you think it's that severe? Do you generally think it's that severe?
I genuinely think he's going to become a danger to himself at some point, because he's going to try so hard, he's going to crash and hurt himself.
I think, like I said,
can see why that's a worry, but I wouldn't necessarily agree. But yeah,
they need to take it as seriously as a physical break.
In the right frame of mind, you can go so quick. If you overdo it in the wrong frame of mind, you can easily step over the limit far further than you should have, And it's far easier to do when you're in the bad space than a good space.
Well, like I said, they need to treat it like it's a physical injury, the same they would. He needs to take a few weeks.
There's going to be some older people listening to this now, right? Who's like, "Oh yeah, no, you don't do that."
Well, we've got the summer break coming up now, so that gives him 5 weeks or however long it is to recuperate. I think after that, then it's a case of we'll see.
I would replace him for Assen at least with Crutchlow. Give him the early time off. He's already blown the championship.
Yeah,
just looking at his results. I mean, I think he just gets on a massive bender after a podium. He's got last year. Honestly, look at it. You look at it. You got to look at it. In his whole MotoGP career, he's always followed up. I mean, barring 1 year at Yamaha where he got a first place and then a second place, but then he was 10th, retired, and then only stepped on. But you look at last year, he got second, 14th, 10th, and retired, and 6th.
Yeah,
and then he won. And finished ninth and 10th. 9th, 10th, 4th, 7th, 13th, 10th, 11th. And then this year, won the first round, then was 5th, 11th, 7th, and 10th. Maybe he just goes absolutely gun-ho and he's like, that's it, he's contracted, he's got a £7 million bonus clause as long as he gets one win in a season. And he just goes, yeah, sod it, I'm going on the...
Just buys a shitload of cocaine and just smashes it for weeks. Like.
Oh wow!
Don't do drugs, kids.
Maverick Vinales is a cokehead.
Don't do drugs, kids. Jesus. Yeah. But yeah, I'm trying to make light of it, but it's a pattern. Like if you look at,
I genuinely think, going back to your question, I do think it is that bad, and he does need to be rescued from himself.
Well, I hope not. We've said it before. We've joked about it, but I hope not because
his brain's gone. Like it's gone. Like Casey Stoner did it. He recognised that there was a serious issue that could have endangered himself on the Ducati when he was with obviously his old tiredness problems. I forget the actual medical name. And he pulled out for a couple of rounds. He was sensible. Maverick needs to do the same. He can always come back stronger.
And we're talking about a guy who's got 9 wins in MotoGP.
Stoner had more when he pulled out.
9 wins in, that's not a mean feat, is it?
Yeah,
when you look at,
honestly, I think he needs to save himself from himself, or the team do it for him. Like he is that bad. His head's gone that far. If this was a normal person who was displaying the erratic behaviours that he is, we would ask him to go and get help. He needs to do the same.
But is he erratic, or is he just slow?
He seems to be like
he's almost like a schizophrenic. He's up and down like a yo-yo.
He's on a short fuse. I can say that 100%.
No, he's literally up and down like a yo-yo. He genuinely strikes me as like a manic depressive. When he's up, he is up. You know what I mean? Like he is bouncing around the place. And when he's down, he is properly down.
Yeah.
And I think something needs to be done.
Yeah, because he spent some time with the sports psychologist this year, but...
It's going to take more than a psychologist, but...
He's going to need a brain transplant.
Yeah.
Watch him go and win now in Assen.
Yeah, he wins in Assen. The problem is he'll follow it up with a 15th and a 17th in Austria,
Yeah.
15th, Styrian Grand Prix or whatever it is, yeah.
Because there's a double at Styria, yeah. So.
And I guarantee you his second result at Styria will be worse than his first if he's riding there. I'll put money on it now.
Yeah. Yeah, because he'll do well at first race, and then second race he'll... Yeah, because maybe
finish the season at Malaysia winning, and then winning Valencia, and then everyone will be going, "What the hell do we do with him?"
Yeah. Like something somewhere has rocked the boat, and he's not recovered from it.
Yeah,
and that happened years ago, and he's still.
That's why he shouldn't have kids.
Yeah,
that's the headline. Maverick should have strapped it up.
This is an advert for Durex condoms. That's what it is.
Yeah. Someone give Maverick Durex sponsorship. Job's a good end.
Well, they used to sponsor Jamie Whittam, didn't they? So we can. Who knows Jamie Whittam?
Brilliant.
But yeah. I want to move on from that a little bit. I do want to put a shout out to Pecco Bagnaia today, who obviously went from 10th to 15th, 16th, back up to 5th place. That was stunning today.
Yeah, took Miller. Do you know what? I was ready to start talking about Pecco. I've just been like, what the hell happened to him today?
Yeah,
because mid race I looked and he was like mid-race. It wasn't even at the beginning of the race. It was mid-race, and he was 15th, 16th.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what has happened to him today? You know, we've been all bigging him up, saying, oh, you know, he's going to get the win before Zarco, or at least me and Jacob have. Saying he's going to get the win before Zarco and so on. But what a return, what a comeback.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, mega. You know, like I said, we were looking at it halfway through the race, and I was ready to come on here and have a chat with you guys and be like, what the hell happened?
Yeah, like
to Bagnaia today.
He dropped down and
I see that he overtook Miller at the end. I mean, Miller's tyres were just absolutely shot. But
yeah, they were.
Yeah. End of the day, you got to get them to the end, don't you? It's not about how quick you are on the first lap.
No, see that says to me that maybe Pecco is in fact the one who is going to compete for the title for Ducati and not Miller.
Well, I've been saying this from the start.
Neo.
Yeah, I was thinking that you are the one.
No,
but I know it's Zarco, mate.
No, well, did Zarco finish above Pecco today?
No, he finished 8th, but every rider's got an off day every so often. You know, Pecco's just crashed out of Mugello.
Yeah, true. But I think of all the riders who can make tyres last in the best possible way towards the end of the race, Pecco is the one.
Yeah.
He's in the best shape.
I think it was a seriously impressive ride from Pecco, Miller, and Zarco today. You know, just to
imagine riding that boat
to be a wet lettuce and just be everyone's friend. I thought they all Ducati friends, Ducati friends.
But I can't imagine riding something as long as that Ducati around Sachsenring. It must have been a nightmare.
Oh, it'd been horrible, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but you see a couple of riders came on. As long as you don't go into LCR too hard, I'm alright.
Yeah, Alex Marquez, you are shit, mate. By the way, he's two-time champion.
I was a little disappointed with Alex taking Petrucci with him, but
yeah,
it happens.
So was Petrucci. I thought we were going to turn around and hit him.
He's playing with Corona.
He's like, I'm not going to be in this paddock next year anyway. Have that. Well,
at this point, Petrux probably would end up. Can we have a little bet? See if anybody thinks Petrux will actually deck someone before the year's out. He's fight with Alicia Spargo, wouldn't he? And Alicia got one bus, and he looks like he's eating chicken wing, wouldn't he? He would have punched his soul from his body.
You'd have left him in last week, mate. It'd be like
a Mortal Kombat. It'd be like finish him.
Finish him.
You would just see Alicia's ghost just flying across the paddock. His body would still be stood.
Through his rib, yeah. Jesus. It was. I think you see a couple of riders who came on really strong. You know, Pecco at the end and Binder as well came on really strong at the end, but I'm really surprised there wasn't more incidents. You know, I think everyone rode super well. It wasn't as tight as expected in terms of racing side of it, but it was a tight Grand Prix.
Yeah.
I think I was looking at it. It was like lap 10 or 11, and you could see first to 16th were all in the same shot. I was just such like a trend. Like I'm watching a Moto3 race.
It's mad.
Do you know what? Honestly, I just got to say, I'm glad that we have not got a major incident to talk about. Like I was thinking that earlier. But the most dramatic thing was Alcoba again. But track limits, if that's the same as every week and that's the biggest drama, I'm very happy.
Yeah, me too.
But the biggest drama was the rookies, obviously. So,
exactly.
I a bit the Red Bull rookies. I don't know if you watched it. But...
We'll move on to the rookies now because we'll go on to Moto3 to GP.
Did you see it?
I did, yeah.
Unbelievable. And for people who didn't watch it, the entire front five all went down in one incident on the last lap.
On the last lap.
And Matteo Battel, not Battelli, Battel. Matt Dunn. Just to say, get it right.
Matt Dunn, sort it out, bro.
Yeah. He took advantage and he won by a mile because he was at the background group. He just made a mistake on the final corner of the previous lap. Dropped out to contention and everybody crashed. He was able to avoid it and he won.
I bet he could not believe it. I bet he just couldn't.
Have you ever seen anything like it?
Yeah, talking of talent cups, I thought the Northern Talent Cup was amazing as well.
Oh, mate, Rossi more, mate.
It's so good. It's so good to see riders from less like racing-rich countries like Hungary,
Romania,
Czech Republic, all doing very, very well.
Yeah,
there's a lot of talent coming from those countries, and it should be worth someone looking into.
Yeah, I mean, I've been banging on about Rossi Moore all year long. Yeah. Keep your eyes out for Rossi Moore. He's won his first race today.
Name, but
no,
flies the Hungarian flag. And then,
exactly.
And then you've got like a couple of good, really Czech boys in there.
And you got Heinrich from last year as well.
Yeah,
Heinrich.
Well, he's in the rookies now, isn't he? So
yeah, he is. Yeah.
He's actually got to step up to the Red Bull rookies along with Soma Gobe. So it works.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I mean, I want to mention actually going back to the rookies. Obviously, Daniel Munoz. He caused basically the crash because he went in on a very last minute move.
No, it was David.
Sorry, it was. Those two, mate, they really confused me.
Because Danny got second.
Yeah, Daniel Munoz, number 64.
Yeah, David Munoz, 64. Danny Munoz, number 7.
Oh my god, yeah. So Daniel basically went in for he went in for a move at the last corner. And the amount of riders I've spoken to previously and after today who have said he is so dangerous. Like, and he doesn't get penalised.
The Indonesians are targeting the wrong Munoz for me.
Yeah, they are. Because I was spoken to somebody who's been watching them since they were kids, right? And Danny Munoz, 17 in the CV, 7 in rookies. He's apparently really nice. He's a decent guy. He's very nice, respectful. He's not dangerous. Was Daniel Munoz, who are not related to each other, which I only found out today. Oh, for God's sake. David Munoz, number 64, they're not related. He will just take a gap. It doesn't even have to be there and he'll go for it. It's like Binder on steroids, Yeah,
so he's going to have to curb that.
That's saying something, Jesus.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Danny Munoz was the one who was unfortunate enough to come together with Adji and got some of the worst I've ever seen on social media.
Yeah, I've never seen anything
and
like
he is the softer of them.
He's a nice one.
Yeah.
But... yeah, like people are saying he's dangerous. I'm not going to say the names of riders who have spoken to me, but there's some big riders.
I think it's a case of the gap was actually there this time.
No, mate, he
wasn't. He wouldn't go for it.
He was so far wide.
Luckily, it was there. This time.
It was not.
The gap was there. The rider caliber wasn't at this point.
I wouldn't say he was there, mate. He was nearly at the blimmin' apex, far right as possible, going into this corner. It was like 4 abreast. He was way over.
The was there of a rider who had been online.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he was not.
Yeah, fair. Yeah. No, that makes sense. But yeah,
I highly recommend everyone to check it out because you've got some absolute superstars in there, and like you both said, the racing's ridiculously good.
Oh, it's class. And obviously, if you want,
I have never seen anything like that.
I've had some riders tell me that the bike itself is not great.
Crap. But that's the thing, you got to ride around it. We spoke to SDK on the podcast the other day.
A 2014 Moto3 bike spec bike.
Yeah,
you don't want to dream of a bike, do you? That's actually what you want for the younger riders.
Oh,
you want them to learn to ride around issues.
Exactly
that's
what
why
SDK says.
Perfect bike. That's why it's the perfect bike.
No,
I mean, what we said, we spoke to SDK on the podcast the other day that's coming out this week, and he basically said, the bikes you're given when you're doing the initiation, or I can't remember what it's called, and basically they're pieces of crap. Bars are bent and all this malarkey, but they want to see if you can ride around these issues and do well, which the riders are doing.
Yes.
So it makes sense, but this racing is class. A lot of these riders are racing against each other in the FIMS Chev as well. So they're all on it. They're all pretty good.
You can watch the racing through Facebook as well. So it's it's quite.
You can watch it on YouTube.
It's on YouTube. Yeah,
you've got no excuse not to know the next generation, basically.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
So moving on to the next generation of Moto 3. We had a good. I mean, the next generation of Pedro Acosta took his flipping 4th race of the win of the year.
Well, the next generation, and then one who's 28 and always unlucky, but there we are.
Oh, for God's sake. You and John McPhee, you're obsessed, mate. You're obsessed.
Officially done with John McPhee now.
You've been done for him for years, mate. You're obsessed with this guy now.
You guys are married a couple.
Yeah, he literally is married to him, mate. Every comment section.
I would sit him down and ask him what the hell he's doing.
Mate. Everywhere I look, John McPhee!
No, seriously though, come on, man, it can't be luck. It can't. Not at this point. It's always luck. Come on, mate. That's all I'm going to say.
He was not.
We all know
he
my
is
feelings.
not Happy Bunny this weekend, was he?
Oh, mate, yeah. After losing Mark,
Happy Bunny.
He lost his crew chief, and then his data engineer stepping in as his crew chief, and
who'd never been a crew chief before.
I think he has.
Johan Studefeldt's interview on BT Sport, though, it sort of made sense. That's the thing.
It did.
And reading between the lines, it's because they want Jake Dixon to do the best he can so they can move him up to MotoGP. Which, fair enough. If that's what they want to do, tough tits, McPhee. You've got to deal with it.
McPhee's older at the end of the day. It's not like he's ever going to be a MotoGP rider anymore.
McPhee has peaked and gone downhill for me.
Yeah.
But Jake Dixon's still... Jake Dixon hasn't done 10 years in one class and failed spectacularly. Whereas McPhee has. Give the best rider the best equipment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Exactly, yeah. And
it's a harsh world. It's harsh, but
racing's cutthroat at the end of the day.
It's racing for you, yeah. But
if you don't give the best riders the best equipment, then they might as well go home.
Yeah, exactly. But moving back onto Moto3 and away from blooming John McPhee. Obviously Pedro Acosta's now basically proven that his early season form was not a fluke by any chance.
Did anybody actually think it was though?
Yeah, some people did.
Le Mans.
Yeah,
I think he proved that actually he fully deserves to be in this paddock and leading the championship on merit. It wasn't even a case of everybody else around him stacking it. He's won on merit.
Yeah, multiple times.
How good a KTM? In terms, we were saying they could have had. You look at how stacked their riders are.
Yeah.
If they've got their, they need locking them down in long-term contracts. They've basically got, as long as they continue on the same progress, then we know that they're a top outfit in Moto2 and now in MotoGP as well.
Yeah.
Why would you not stick with, the KTM kind of fold?
Yeah. Well, especially with IO signing the extension till 2026 to be the junior team. Right now for me, and I think Rookies is a better path than CV because Rookies gets you a spot on the AO squad if you win it.
Potentially.
Whereas I wouldn't have said that before.
Anyone's a good manager, you are getting your rider onto that.
Yeah.
If you're worth anything,
but you're guaranteed a spot pretty much if you win the Rookies to get at least one of the spots on the AO squad.
Yeah, if you win the Rookies, you're guaranteed a World Championship seat. Apart from when we nearly saw Masaki not get one a few years ago, which was a bit strange. But you're pretty much guaranteed a seat. And yes, Red Bull, KTM, IO would be where they would aim to put you if the seats are there, kind of thing.
And then if you impress on that seat, suddenly the road to MotoGP is open. So now I think Rookies is a better way to possibly go to MotoGP than CEV is.
It's because your guy Eisen Guevara, if you're going off for Rookies results, he wouldn't even be in Moto3 at the moment.
No, don't get me wrong, that's fair. But now, this season going forward, it seems like suddenly Acosta's proven that you can win both.
I'd say that
CV
made
is
a great
forward. Thing. CV is still a great championship. It's still stupid high level. But now, if you win CV, you may not get that IO seat, which gives you the scope to go all the way through.
It's a gamble.
Look at the riders who have come through that. Look at the riders who have come through.
Yeah, but
I see your points as well. Don't get me wrong, I do. I'm just saying now, IO is probably the most desirable junior seat.
At the moment, yeah, but the thing is, the Rookies have made a step because they were lagging massively behind the FIM-Chev. But now they've made a step towards it, but I would always say that the Chev Championship is much better because you can ride with the team and build a relationship. You don't have to go into the IO team if you don't want to.
Yes.
Carlos Tatai rode for the MT77 Avintia team, and he's still there now. You don't have to go to IO. IO, the door may be open for you, but you can ride with your own team. You can ride with the team you've built a relationship with. Aspar, riders of him, like David Alonso is leading the Rookies Championship now. He's ridden with Aspar since the 85cc Championships, and he's still there now in the FIM-Chev. He will go up, not next year, but the year after, with Aspar. It's no doubt.
Yeah, like Delgado, if he was to win the Rookies, he'd still go up with Aspar.
Yeah, exactly.
But the point is, I think now, IO is probably where you would want to be in an ideal world if you were moving up to the World Championship.
IO's been the team everybody wanted to go to since 2012, and
true.
Cortese was winning on it, you know.
But now more than ever, I think they like how Aki IO set up that team. I don't know. It seems like they're using cheat codes almost. It's like they need nerfing. You know what I mean? If they were a Call of Duty gun, they would be nerfed into the ground. Like it's crazy.
He knows what he's doing, IO. You know, there's no doubt about that.
IO is the smartest man in the MotoGP world paddock. Simple.
Yeah, but like you know, it's just it's fantastic. You know, it's a shame that obviously Masia crashed out, but it is what it is. It is what it is. But there is a rider I want to give a massive, monumental shout out to. Another one, because it didn't deserve it. Another one is Lorenzo Fellon.
Yes,
like that guy. He's obviously mates with Zonta, who we're going to have on soon, hopefully, potentially, possibly, maybe. We need to actually speak to him about that, but we're aiming to have Zonta on the podcast. All right, cool. But yeah, so Lorenzo Fellon, hilariously, and funny enough, actually used to race for IO as well, back in the European Talent Cup.
Yep.
He raced for IO, and Fellon then obviously raced for the Australia Galicia team last year. And then Paolo Simicelli saw something in him and put him into the World Championship.
If you were thinking that the name sounds familiar, his dad is what was Johan Zarco's manager.
Yeah, Laurent Fellon.
Yeah.
And
really? Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
And he was the one who Zarco blamed for not getting the Honda ride.
Yeah.
Nice, well done, Zarco.
He did
But yeah, so Lorenzo Fellon is pretty much he's the youngest full-time rider in all three classes. See, Aldeguerri is younger, but we're not including him for this because he's not a full-time rider. And the Moto E doesn't do every round of the season because it's like a European Championship more than anything.
Yep.
So he's the youngest rider. He's still 16, and he's been basically out of the points every race and managed to qualify in 6th place this weekend. He's been on fire all weekend long.
Do you know what I think it is? Genuinely?
What?
He came there in the rookies. Yeah. Everybody had a year off. He started on a more even keel, and look what's happened.
Yeah, and this will be so confidence inspiring because I've talked to him, you know, and he's said he's basically been working his ass off to get here now, and this will propel his confidence to the sky.
Yes,
yeah.
It just goes to show when everything's a bit more even, the cream rises to the top almost. Like he's good enough.
I was gutted.
But
I was gutted to see him crash.
See it. Yeah,
because he got knocked off in a point scoring position. It would have been his first ever points.
Yeah, he was super unlucky.
Where was he running when he went off?
I think he was 8th.
No, he was. I think he was like 11th when he crashed. Got knocked off.
He was in the 8th group then.
That, like fighting for a top 10 finish would have just been so good for him, wouldn't it?
He's gained more experience this weekend than the entire season, so far for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And, I'm just looking at the results. Actually, Yamanaka very nearly got lapped.
Yeah, but that's only because he came off and remounted.
Yeah.
He was actually in a point scoring position when he came off, which would have been pretty awesome for Jason.
Yeah, it would have been.
Unfortunately, it didn't come off.
No, and your guy Salach got a pole position as well.
Yeah. I predicted Salach, but of course we all know what that meant.
Of course.
Leo Bartolini impressed me. He was very, very good. He got 12th. And he was only 7.5 seconds off the actual win. And he ended up in the group behind. Like if he could have just clung onto the group, he would have been in the mix.
Yeah, Lea Bartolini.
He did very well.
Imagine being Artigas today, finishing like
0.8 off, and he got 9th. But I think Artigas will just be relieved to finish.
Yeah, after his season so far, you know.
Like Alcoba still maintains it's his podium. But
he does. Yeah.
Like, he's not having it. Yeah.
The actual results say otherwise. Sorry, but
yeah. I think we'll see a Lea Bartolini in the World Championship next year in the VR46 squad, 100%.
Well, maybe not a VR46 squad, but certainly with VR46 support.
Yeah, because he definitely deserves it. You know, he's
him and Sura, to be honest.
Yeah. Sura. Yeah, Sura. I would say Sura's better than Bartolini.
Yeah, I would back that statement. They're both really good talents.
Very good riders, you know, and
what I wanted to mention was Darren Binder. You said Foggia then. Screwed me right up. Darren Binder, he had a ride through and he still got points.
I know. Fair play to him.
Fair play to him. That's like he shouldn't have had the right to, and it was absolute stupidity to come out on Kelso the way he did.
Yeah,
but to get points after that's that'll feel like a win to actually score some points.
But
see, we talked about the ride through thing, didn't we? And I wasn't as convinced that it was.
I wouldn't have given him a ride through. I would certainly have given them 2 long laps. I think that was
them just making a point.
Yeah.
That was them. That wasn't necessarily.
That's what I said last week. I think they must have listened to me because I said, race direction need to clamp down now. So let's go race direction. If you're listening, good work, guys.
As long as they continue that, then we'll start to see a little bit more respect between them. So that'd be good.
It was nice.
Maybe that contributed well. That sort of thing. So,
but you've got to be draconian, isn't it? Like you've got to think, oh my god, I'm going to have the worst punishment in the world for a minor transgression. It's the only way to make excitable 17-year-olds who are living their dream, racing bikes and going fast. I would not have behaved at that age.
No, me
29-year-olds.
Yeah, I wouldn't behave now. Yeah, good point. But at 17, I was a complete dick. You know what I mean? Like I had no concern for anyone else but myself, and they will all be the same.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, and it just shows.
So you need like to be slapped down, otherwise you're just going to keep getting punished.
Yeah.
Shame for him though. Shame for him because I think it could have been a lot better weekend.
I wanted to mention Stefano Nepper as well.
Yeah,
because he's made a hell of a step suddenly.
Yeah, like over the last few weeks, he's just smashed it. Even at Catalonia, he's done really well.
Yeah, since Mugello, he's a different guy who turned out.
Yeah, I think seeing Riccardo Rossi take that podium.
Yeah, it gave him the boost he needed. Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah,
it proved that actually the Skull Rider team can get up there.
Yeah, exactly.
What happened to Rossi? What happened to Rossi?
He got knocked off.
No, he had his own separate crash, I believe.
Oh, right.
I think he crashed behind him at
T1. Yeah.
Oh, right.
But I could be wrong. I didn't see anything other than him just sliding behind. I'd say either that or he was the one Yamanaka tagged. I can't remember properly.
Fair enough.
Yeah, no, I didn't see it, so I just wondered.
Potentially Yamanaka tagged him. Actually, now I think about it, he was the one Yamanaka tagged on the rear, possibly. Yeah.
I got to say, it's quite interesting that Dennis Foggia sits 6th place in the championship, given that he's only finished 3 races this year in the points.
He's got the Vinales syndrome.
Yeah,
he's the one who's going on benders.
Yeah, like he'll win a race,
and then he'll all the prosecco.
He'll win a race, and then he'll get like 0 points the next few races, and then bang, podium again.
Or doesn't.
Like he either gets a podium or doesn't score any points at all.
Either he finishes on a podium or he doesn't finish. It's mental.
Yeah.
Go hard or go home, innit?
Yeah, and he's 6th place.
He is the epitome of inconsistency. Like he is the example.
He's consistently inconsistent.
Yeah, he must be going on like proper benders.
Well, he's only like 119, so yeah, he probably is.
Yeah, to be fair, you can recover from the hangover, but clearly he can't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's
off his chops.
He's got that. He gets the hangover of a 35-year-old.
Yeah.
Takes him a few days to recover as opposed to just out the next day.
But, I also wanted to quickly mention Philippe Salach because the pole position was awesome. And he did it so early in the session, which was weird.
Yeah, it was a bit odd.
I don't understand. Like, he started alright, he got off the line, he was tipped into the first corner in the top 3, come out to the first corner, he was like 17th.
Mad, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know what happened to him. But he still takes the result for, like, one of the best looking Red Bull lids. He goes on the spin on it. It's lush.
Yeah, it's nice. And before we move on to Moto2, I want to give a shout out to Joel Kelso. Yeah. Improved every session. He was 4 seconds off first session and smashed it. He was like under a second, I think, in the warm up. So, big up Joel Kelso. He's racing at Assen this weekend as well. So,
yeah,
good progress there. We said nothing to lose. So
exactly, yeah.
I think the only thing the team would have wanted to see was constant improvement.
And that's what he gave them.
Yeah. So, they played him.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And moving to Moto2, it was a massive class.
So how are we doing predictions? Why
did you bring that up? I've done so badly, I'm hoping to just escape it.
So,
you're like the guy who tells the teacher off, so you didn't have the own workout.
That's because I got one of them right.
Yeah, you get the own work, that's a problem.
Can't even find them. There they are. So, Gary predicted Garcia, Binder, and Acosta, and he got Acosta right. Jacob went Garcia, Antonelli, Salach, 0 right, and I went Adrian Fernandez, Garcia, and Rodrigo, 0 right.
Do I get bonus points for a pole position?
No. Got his F in the chat. Moving on to Moto 2. Oh, you bloody interject again. Remy Gardner obviously took the race win today. Smash it. I think his tactic early race was class. He actually set a lap time that was quicker than his third place qualifying time to try and shake off Ralph Fernandez, which worked. You know, he pushed that hard that he forced Fernandez into his first mistake of the season, and he crashed out of the race.
Yeah. That's a big moment. That's a big moment.
Yeah,
going
that could be the one that
toe,
cracks it.
and that's a real head, game movement. Not only did it win in the race, but big
to do it by breaking Ralph Fernandez at the same time, because that's what he did. Like, you can sugarcoat it any way you want. The other boys are a cut above anyway.
Oh yeah.
So Fernandez didn't really need to push.
No, he didn't.
Easy for me to say, but but he genuinely broke Ralph Fernandez, which is a very difficult thing to do.
Yeah, he really did.
But the Iowa boys genuinely are in another postcode, and they like I said earlier, cheat codes. I don't know what they're doing, what they're feeding them, but
they are
with gunpowder in it or something.
Do you know what they're feeding them? They're feeding them MotoGP contracts.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
You know that new film that KTM got? That's what they got. They put it down in their breakfast.
Exactly, yeah. MotoGP contracts.
Is your breakfast, is your porridge and the KTM tech-free deal,
Yeah.
Especially when you see how good the KTMs, at least the factory boys are doing. You see how good they're doing. You got to be pumped, haven't you? You got to be thinking like, yeah,
this is mine for the taking. I could be that guy.
Yeah, 100%. But they've just absolutely killed it. Remy's got a 30+ point championship lead now.
Yep. Do you know what?
And he's only getting better, isn't he?
Do you know what? I said before the race that I think it's going to go down to the final race. Suddenly, I don't think that anymore.
No. Unless Remy makes a mistake.
Like, Remy will make a mistake.
There'll be some twists.
Go on.
I was going to say, there'll be some twists. We're not even halfway through yet.
Like, Remy will make a mistake. Nobody can have a perfect championship. I don't care who you are. Even Marc Marquez. So Remy will make a mistake. He just needs to hope that it's not a mistake when Ralph Fernandez wins. But based on what we've seen with Io so far, that's pretty much going to happen.
Probably going to happen, yeah.
I wanted to mention so many riders who took points.
I know. But
I just want to mention the mains. Albert Arenas in 8th.
I know.
Awesome.
Fantastic. Obviously his teammate as well. Canet podium.
Canet podium, yeah, but we all sort of expected a Canet now. Almost.
No.
I do.
I'd expect it when he's on a K-Lex, but at the moment it's still a good result.
The rumours Canet to
Aprilia, yeah.
Yeah, him, Joe, and both are in the frame as well. Because
of his Biaggi, because Biaggi liked him, didn't he? Because he rode from him.
Yeah.
In Moto3, with that beautiful livery.
Yeah, it was. Cambodia, I wanted to shout out, especially from 25th to 10th.
That's flipping stunning, that, isn't it?
Yeah, it's proven that Moto America, once again, we've said it many times, Moto America is a high standard.
Yeah,
end of story. Alonso Lopez.
Yes, 12th place.
12th place on a different chassis than he normally rides as well.
Yeah, he's never ridden a K-Lex before.
Yep. And
P12.
The main one, Barry Valdez.
Big up Barry, the guy who runs number 70, can't run number 7, and is named after Barry Sheen, who is his racing hero and his dad's hero, which is why he runs the number 7 with the cross through it, if you didn't know.
As well.
Yeah.
I was going to say it's Belgian, so not a traditional racing, country.
He practices at the Metet circuit in Belgium. And I've spoken to someone who said that he was on a track day there when Barry came through, and he came past him completely sideways. He was braking for the corner. Barry came past him sideways, still on the throttle on an R6.
God. There's a picture somewhere of Barry, and he's literally
that's at Metet.
So far over.
He was that's at Metet. I know exactly what you mean. In terms of bad ones, I wanted to mention, I was gutted for Firmin Aldeguer.
Yeah, I bet you were,
Crashed out in the first lap, lost the front. He is okay. I've spoken to Hector Fobel. He said, he's fine.
Yeah,
and Lorenzo Baldassari, who crashed out, he's broken a metacarpal in his hand. He's got to have surgery on it tomorrow.
He's also just not good enough for it anymore.
Well, I don't know. I mean,
but you're biased because you're a fan of him.
No, honestly,
nowhere near good
me, and we both know Manzi and Baldassari are my two riders. I wouldn't give either of them a ride in the World Championship anymore.
No, I wouldn't do that.
And also, absolutely devastated for Iwagura.
Oh, mate. 5th place he would have had.
Yeah, 5th.
5th.
you can't fault the man for trying.
No,
But
I don't know how he went down.
I was
I don't know how he crashed.
What about Vieja as well?
Honestly, in a way, I would make a case for Aguirre actually being one of the more impressive rookies. It sounds stupid, because obviously Fernandez is smashing it, but nobody expected I to do this.
No, because I thought he'd struggle because he's a bit short, you know.
Like, everybody thought Arbolino and Fernandez would be the two major rookies, didn't we? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
So for Aguirre to be, like, so close to the top 5 most of the time where he is, I just didn't see it coming, and I'm happy to be wrong.
Yeah, there was a couple of unfortunate late crashes as well, wasn't there? Like Joe Roberts.
Yeah, and obviously Javi.
I literally keep banging that drum for Joe Roberts. I'm not going to give up on him.
Love Joe.
We do like Joe.
Javier as well. He had the last minute. Did anyone see what happened with was it Simone Corsi's the first?
That was
corner?
weird, wasn't it?
What the hell? His bike was just kept bouncing.
Yeah,
bouncing. It was like they was on lap 3 and his bike was still fucking bouncing.
That's crazy, man.
It was just kept going. It was really odd. It was just so odd. It just kept bouncing.
It was one of those like things where you like look at it and think, am I seeing things?
Yeah.
It's like it was bouncing and then the screen goes black and it's like several hours later. It's still bouncing. It's like,
7 hours later.
Not references. My man.
Okay, I like that. Friends can piss off, but
yeah, it's that's
just such an odd, really odd. It's not what I've heard. But really odd one. Yeah, but I felt for Javier as well. He's obviously he was having a great with Jake Dixon again struggling today.
Yeah.
It was a shame really because he got himself up to P10, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was doing really well.
It wasn't.
He was doing really well.
And he has got
it was just a racing incident. But he's been given, like I said, wasn't we, with Danny? Yeah,
penalty. Yeah,
yeah. But I think it was at worst a racing incident. At absolute, like if we got to attach blame, I would be more inclined to blame Fernandez. He turned in on him. Like the gap was there.
Dixon made the move.
If someone's
if you go for a gap, no longer go for the gaps that exist. You're no longer a racing driver.
Indeed, yeah, indeed. I think he was far enough against him, like next to him, to be given the space.
One question though: is Sam Lowe's good enough anymore?
Yeah, of course he is. Don't be silly.
Let me rephrase that. Yeah, that was bad wording. Is Sam Lowe's still doing well enough to compete for the title this year?
No, because the Red Bull KTM boys are running away with it.
Yeah.
But I think Sam Lowe's is still he's one of them riders who's in a very difficult position because he's a bit older than a lot of the extremely younger riders coming through.
Yeah.
He's still talented enough to warrant a ride in the championship, but it's a very fine line between whether he's going to do enough to regain a promotion or whether he's going to be stuck in Moto2.
Yeah, because I think Bastianini and Marini wouldn't have been the top 2 this year. I don't think they would have been anywhere near the IO boys.
No, I don't think they would either.
It's basically Lowe's is suffering from IO syndrome.
Yeah, it's just a tricky one. But then he had a decent race again today, finishing. Well, he picked up a few late positions, obviously with the crashes that we talked about. But I think he's definitely still good enough.
Yeah, I worded that. Like that was not what I meant to say. Like,
I know what you meant. I know what you meant. You obviously just hate him. It's fine. I understand.
Yeah, he just hates British riders. That's what it is.
Fuck off, Sam. I prefer Alex.
Your boy did well. The homeboy. He's had a decent. Was sixth.
Yeah. He might take the cake for the best boots this year, but Mark might have
something to say about that. His lid was pretty decent.
Yeah.
As well.
What I found pretty funny, he was exactly 10 seconds off the win. Like 10.
Yeah, I was looking at that and I was like, what?
I found that hilarious. Like, that's just great. Like,
our predictions as well. All of us got one right, and that was it. So Gary went with Fernandez, and then Gardner, and then Roberts, Chelsea Gardner. Jacob went Fernandez Gardner. I went Fernandez Gardner as well, but then Jacob also went Fernandez. The other one, Augusto, crashed out.
Do you know what the worst thing is? I was gonna go Canet, and I changed my mind at the last second.
I was going to do this.
I was going to do Gardner, Canet, and Ben as well. It's really weird.
Come on now.
That was mental.
I was so annoyed when he got a podium because I was thinking, I was going to say him.
And I went Fernandez, Gardner, and Schrotter.
Did anybody have Bezzy for a podium, genuinely?
After his qualifying,
I nearly did. I nearly had him. Yeah.
Seriously, I didn't think he'd be trouble in the top 5, honestly. So for him to get a podium, I was well impressed.
Well, he went through Q1. He was 19th in the combined sessions, 19th, and he finished 3rd in Moto 2.
Crazy.
He's had some decent races recently as well, actually. So
he's done solid.
Getting ready for that MotoGP call up.
That's the one. Confirmed this week.
MotoGP contract for breakfast, isn't it?
Yeah. And obviously a guy who has just got a MotoGP contract, Fabio Di Gianantonio, did really well thanks to that.
I don't like DG with facial hair. He looks too old. He doesn't look like DG.
He looks a bit strange, doesn't he?
Is this a new podcast about talking about riders' grooming habits?
Wrap up with DG. He looked like a homeless you find in a box, man. It was nuts.
Canet he doesn't look like a rider, does he?
He just looks like a common thug, doesn't he?
Yeah, Cameron
from Sons of Anarchy more than Moto 2.
Yeah, he's
Canet, quite literally, if he come up to you and said, "Give me your wallet," you'd be like, "Yes, sir."
Yeah, yes, yes.
Would you like me to bend over also, sir? Please leave me alone.
Who's the guy who used to date Pamela Anderson? Is it Tommy?
Tommy Lee,
What's he? Yeah.
He looks like him. Yes, you're right, actually. Oh God!
Right now. I want to move on to MotoGP, where somebody got the predictions pretty right.
Sorry, signal's gone bad. Signal's gone bad. What's that?
There we go.
It's just there's something I said obviously on the podcast last week.
Before we go any further, though, I would just like to say when I got my 3 out of 3, I also called the winner. I'm still ahead of you. Suck it.
Shut up, Jacob.
Suck it.
Anyway.
My qualifying time was better. Leave it alone.
So Gary went for Johan Mir, Quartararo, and for Morbidelli. So Gary got 1. Well done, Gary. Just round of applause for Gary. Jacob went for Vinales, last place. Well done there. Pecco.
Do you know what?
Okay. Rins in 11th. Yeah, well done. And I went for Miguel Oliveira, Fabio Quartararo, and Maverick Vinales. No, Marc Marquez. Sorry, not Maverick Vinales. I went for Marc Marquez, and you two were like, nah, he's not going to get a podium. Nah. Boom. I got all 3 of them, mate. Sit down.
Well done, you.
Thanks. That's my ego done for a week.
You know what, though?
What?
As soon as it happened, I thought, he's going to be insufferable. I
got it right.
This was actually a lot less than I was expecting. I thought he'd be running around the place, suck it.
Suck it.
Yeah, no, well done. That was a good shout, because I think we all toyed with about, we joked last week, didn't we, about Mark, and we've already spoken about him.
Yeah.
In part 1, but
Yeah. Do you know what, though, honestly?
Absolute superstar.
Do you know what does me the most, though?
What?
I went Vinales thinking, okay, this might be the one, the turnaround. This is a good test. But instead, he just completely bugs me off, goes the other way, and makes me look a right knob. So,
as always,
you need to have a word with him and say, look, listen, if you're going to just go testing and collect data, you need to let me know.
Do you know what, Mav? Stop it.
just stop it.
Just stop it.
Just leave me alone. No, so for me, it's I can't, as I've said, probably made perfectly clear at this point. I can't see any reason to put him in the prediction ever again.
No, that's fair. He'll win it next week.
He'll win.
Yeah,
I think. Didn't he win here in Moto 2?
Yeah.
So there you go. He's going to win next year.
Do you know what else though? I think you kind of saved our predictions.
Oh, thanks. I'm good at that.
Make it look like we sort of know what we're on about.
No, I know what I'm about. You know, fuck all, mate.
Shut up. We do this as a group. We go.
Listen, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, you scrutinise my predictions, you two.
When I had Oliveira last week and you didn't say anything about it, what did I say? I didn't say nothing, did I?
Yeah, but that's because you haven't got all 3 of them right.
Yeah, but I still got that. I predicted the winner as well, so I'm still ahead. So
no, you're not. No, you're just putting that in your little bag, thinking you got it, mate.
Yeah,
I got Marc Marquez. Marc Marquez hasn't won for 518 days, and I picked it, mate. So yeah, eat your pie.
One thing I did want to mention about MotoGP though, I was quite impressed with Paul.
Yeah.
Like,
I knew you would be so happy, and I think you got to be, haven't you?
Yeah, but I was more impressed with Aleix.
Oh yeah, he led the race, mate.
Yeah. How good was it to see it?
Absolutely peaking. Yeah, it was amazing to just see him battling at the front.
I genuinely believe he would have had third place if it hadn't rained. But of course, if Granny had balls, she'd grandpa, so swings around about now.
Yeah, because as soon as it rained, he cacked himself, didn't he?
Yeah, you could see he just didn't fancy it, and then all of a sudden, actually, I've still got grip here, okay.
Yeah, he was like, fuck this shit, I'm out.
But he kind of lost that momentum, hadn't he? He'd lost that momentum, and he got it back towards the end.
Yeah,
quite close to getting Miller.
I was very impressed with him. Like, seeing Aprilia lead in, like, that wasn't a fluke. Like, let's be real, it was not a fluke. Not like Ian O'Neill a couple of years ago at Phillip Island, which was a one-off. It was that Aprilia now is a bona fide front-running bike.
2.5 seconds off of a podium on a legit race. 2.5 seconds off a podium.
Honestly, that is a bona fide bike now that is fit to compete at the front. It's there. It is there. It's arrived.
And it was great to see, wasn't it?
And one thing I was thinking, because he still hasn't had it consistently, is Aleix almost needed to lead for a while. Like, I was a bit disappointed Mark didn't give him the opportunity, because he's like, he needs the experience of leading from the front. Because obviously,
it was a good little battle because Mark done him on the last corner, which the TV cameras actually missed stupidly. They panned away to look at a couple of riders side by side.
Yep.
In SIG 47, so they actually missed his absolute dive bomb. But then Aleix got him back and had a decent little tussle with him as well for at least a couple of laps. So that was good. And then obviously it was just great to see him up there. It does bode the question though, doesn't it? We talked about Salvadori, about how he's obviously doing all right, but that bike warrants having a quality front-running rider on it. 2 front-running riders on it now.
Yeah, I think he's doing the job that he's been asked, though. That's the thing. Like, I think he's hitting what Aprilia want him to do. But he very rarely
maybe at the beginning of the season. But maybe at the beginning of the season. But now they've realised just how good the bike is.
But would it have been there if he had been also giving them data? Is the $1 million question, isn't it?
I think they can now pull in a big rider for sure.
Yeah, now they can replace him. But Salvadori should not be underestimated for what he's done, because he's done
well.
Absolutely not.
I believe he has probably exceeded what Aprilia wanted from him. Honestly.
Yeah, for sure. And I think 2.5 seconds is now. Oh no, wait, don't worry. You said 2.5 seconds earlier, and I thought that I was
from the podium.
To win.
No,
from the podium. Right.
Off of Quartararo.
But I'd say something's up with Yamaha, because Morbidelli and Vinales, like we know Vinales played a contributing factor, but Morbidelli's not one to crack.
No.
What the hell happened?
He does this a lot, doesn't he, recently?
But not this.
No.
I don't understand it. Like, now is the time to put yourself in the shop window with Vinales struggling, and instead he just joins him at the back of the grid on a Sunday night.
So no way, I'll just make you look not as shit, mate. Don't worry. I got you.
Or he's just being really savage and being like, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to finish just in front of you.
I'm going to
literally 3/10.
But you can't get past me.
He finished 3/10 ahead of him. 3/10.
Yeah, because everybody. Because what I've seen go around social media a lot is, Rossi's fine. He finished second Yamaha, but it was 14th.
That's my point. That's my point I was saying about Maverick, and I don't want to make it seem like I'm absolutely caning him. But when Rossi lost his factory ride last year in the factory squad, he was finishing the end of the year. It was always him, Quartararo, and Vinales all together.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's a really odd one, because it's just it just seems as if it's an all eggs in one basket kind of scenario.
Yeah.
When Quartararo was doing really, really well, Morbidelli wasn't doing as good, and then all of a sudden Morbidelli came on really strong, but every other Yamaha rider was struggling. And then again this year, every other Yamaha was struggling. Morbidelli's had a couple of decent races, but then obviously Quartararo's up the front. So yeah, there's definitely something going on there. It's really weird.
Yeah, very weird.
Yep.
Before I wrap up this podcast, I want to say firstly, put a massive nod out to Brad Binder, who smashed out of the park today, 4th place.
Yeah, man.
He was gunning for a podium, easy. I think he could have got one.
Do a token Jack Miller mention. Jack Miller raced. There we go.
Oh yeah, well done, Jack Miller. You did a race. Well done. Woo!
He did race very well. He did race very well.
He did do really well. Yeah, I don't want to disrespect Jack. He did do really well.
But I mentioned
good championship. Again, good championship points.
Yeah,
he would have thrown it down the road previously. So yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So on Brad Binder, interestingly, on laps 12, 13, and 14. Did identical lap times of 1:22.268 3 times consecutively. When the hell has that ever happened?
It just goes to show that Binder was in a groove, doesn't it?
Talk about consistent, fucking hell.
Yeah, he's 4th as well, right?
Yeah.
Why are we raving about Brad Binder?
Oh, he's only 4th. Rubbish guy, mate.
Yeah, no, seriously, I just looked at it and I just thought, hang on, why have we not mentioned him before now?
Yeah, it's 4th place.
Because his teammate was fighting for the win, I guess.
Yeah, well, 2 KTMs in the top 4. That's amazing, you know?
Oh, but you need Olin suspension and an aluminium frame to win, guys.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah. There's fucking steel frames,
Didn't you see that?
Rubbish.
Oliveira had a little bit of a moan-up earlier this week, saying it's not just about the frame.
Yes, it's all the little things.
Yeah. But
he had a little bit of a whinge up about it.
I was like, mate, it's quite clear that the new frames had a monumental impact in KTM. Yes, there's been other things, but the frame has become the massive catalyst.
Any faster. It's just made the bike better to ride.
It's made it means that the bike can finish the races better.
Yeah, and of course with that rocket fuel that they got.
Yeah, exactly.
Completely distilled T-Rex, 100%, doesn't it?
Yeah. And there's a quote from Jack Miller who said that Marc Marquez smoked everyone with one arm as well, which I thought was quite funny.
Yeah, he did, didn't
he? Yeah.
What we said about how close the race was, it was actually a little bit of a shame that the raindrops come, because it was so close just before that, and you literally had all the way down to Pol Espargaro in 10th place.
Jorge Martin was in the dice as well. It was just...
Yeah, Martin was just right there. I mean, Taka was a little bit back, but you had what I thought was mega was you had in the top kind of 11, 12, you had multiple Hondas, multiple KTMs.
Yeah, it wasn't just like one
Yamaha. Wait,
even one Aprilia, and then multiple Ducatis, multiple Suzukis. You had every manufacturer represented in the top 12.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed seeing,
which was mega. It was just great seeing them so close and so.
Do you know what, honestly, I think people ain't giving the FIM and Dorna enough credit for how they've set MotoGP stall out.
Oh honestly. Yeah, they've done so well. Really,
I won't dwell on it because obviously we're wrapping up. But people criticise Dorna, and they've done a spectacular job of this.
Yeah, they have done well. You can't doubt what they've done. Perfect.
Yeah, done a great job.
Yeah, it was just the Saxon King once again.
The Saxon Goats, you mean? 11 wins now.
There's only one person. Yeah, there's only one person that can do it. Yeah, it's
mental.
What a ride.
The pole record's gone, but I don't think he'll give two shits, honestly.
No, as long as he's got that win record, that's the one that everyone will care about.
Don't get points, dear. Don't get points for poles.
Nope.
Yeah, Philip Salash.
You screw yourself. I'm trying to think now. Is there anything we've missed? Because every time, we finish recording and we're like, oh crap, we didn't talk about that. We didn't talk about that.
No, I think we covered everything, haven't we?
I hope so. Bloody hell.
Yeah, we even covered the news of IO. I think we did.
Yeah, sick. Well, if
we've done, someone will tell us if we did.
Yeah. You didn't mention this rider. You didn't do this. Yeah, whatever. But yes, I hope you've enjoyed listening to this podcast. Once again, we've got a special midweek podcast coming this week with Mr. Sean Dillon Kelly.
And honestly, I'm not just saying this because I was in it. It is incredible.
It's
need
madness.
to listen to it.
It is crazy, mate. Off the rails podcast.
It's so good. He was good. Honestly, he was so open about everything. He didn't shirk away from anything.
He did not give a shit.
Honestly, I got nothing against Ramirez, but yeah. I'm calling for SDK now instead.
That'll be my listen up to Orm Park
Hey, nice. Just show off a bit,
Yeah.
Thinking me whilst I'm sat at my desk at work,
Yeah. That's true clout.
Yeah, that is clout. But anyway, I swear, Gary said clout, and now you two said clout 16 times between yourselves.
I have not.
No,
I
you
said
didn't say
it
clout, I
once.
did.
Jacob's like, oh, it's a new word.
I started saying it, and ironically, like, yeet, and here I am, it's in my vocabulary now.
I hate my life. I'm not talking to you for next month, alright?
Oh, thank God for that.
So, yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this podcast. I'm going to include like a 30-second segment of what you can expect from the SDK podcast later this week, right at the end after the credits, just so you can listen to that bloody shitty jingle. I hope you've enjoyed listening to this podcast, and we'll be back again next week. Oh, wait, we've forgotten something. Oh my God.
What?
Predictions. Assen next weekend.
Oh,
shit.
Alright, then. Let's get splash bosh. No time to think.
Yeah, right.
Get it done.
Gary, Motor 3 predictions. No, don't think. Just bash them out.
No, I'm gonna do the old.
Okay, you're gonna do this.
I'm gonna do the old pick 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
From Moto 3. So yeah, 1 second.
I'm gonna do that actually. Just Moto 3 is pointless predicting. I set a trend.
Costa. Well, put me down as a Costa.
Alright, Assen's a lottery.
I'm gonna put a safe number in my lottery.
God,
I'm gonna put a safe number in.
No, I'm actually gonna predict 3. You might do it, not will do it.
Oh, sorry, guys.
All right.
Oh, sorry.
The listeners can enjoy us yapping about crap.
You've thrown it on me. But yeah, I think this is a good little thing to do, just for a bit of fun.
Yes,
if have we actually got one right yet when we've done this?
I don't think so.
I did. I think the first time I did, I got 1. So.
That's all right.
You got 1 right. Did you?
Next year, right? Next season, we'll do these and we'll do them properly, and we'll make it a leaderboard, and we get points every time we get one right.
Yeah.
And at the end of the year,
or 3, 2, and 1, depending on when they finish.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'll work it out.
Oh God, you can't count.
Shush. I can count to 3, I think.
Right.
175,422.
Okay, I'll just McPhee.
Oh God.
It landed on McPhee.
God almighty.
It landed on McPhee, and then there we go. Fanati.
Oh God. Okay. Jacobo. Jake.
I'm just picking 3 who have
Alright, Jake.
threatened the podium but not been consistently on it. I'm going to go for Alcoba.
Alright.
Then it's on you.
On suit.
And Gabri Rodrigo.
Good shout there, Jake. Well done.
Myself. I'll just let you sit in that for a minute.
Thanks for that. I'm going to go for probably Alcoba again, because he's been decent. Acosta, of course. And Messia.
Well, based on this week, if Alcoba doesn't get the podium, you'll just say he did anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So I'll just count it anyway. Right. Moto 2, Gary. I'm going to put Gardner down.
Moto 2, yeah, Gardner. Digi,
yeah? Fair play, yeah.
Yeah. And, Fernandez. Raul Fernandez. No, I was going to go Joe Roberts, but like it's a lottery numbers. If you keep doing your lottery numbers and the one week you don't do them, the number will come in. So just for him, I'm not going to pick him.
Yeah, screw you, Joe.
So yeah, Raul Fernandez, Gardner, and Digi.
Fair play. How about you, Jacob?
I'm going to go
Remy.
Aaron Canet.
And
then this is balls to the wall, but I do genuinely think it could happen.
Yeah.
Cambobia.
What?
He is incredible on flowing tracks. I honestly.
that is balls to the wall. Oh my God.
I think this will be his best shot at it this year. No joke.
Really?
Watch him finish 25th now and make me look a cock, but But honestly, I don't know. He's always been good when it's like flowing. He just has that whatever it is that you need. I do think he could genuinely threaten the podium. So yeah, I'm going Cambobia.
Fair play. I'm going Gardner, Fernandez again, just because I'm boring as hell. And then
they made it boring, haven't they?
No, not in a bad way. I enjoy it, but Moto 2 is just boring as always. then,
I planted the baby idea in your head now, don't I?
No. I'll go Digia. Digia's a solid shout. I like Digia.
Yeah, solid shout.
Right, now, MotoGP.
Also, we didn't have an accent last year, did we? So it's all the way back to 19, and someone who we've spoken about a lot won.
I can't see him winning again, honestly, but
no, I can't either.
He was in a better headspace.
I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna say Quartararo,
of course.
Miller.
Okay. He's unfollowed Quartararo now on Twitter. So.
Oh, has he?
Yeah, he's on Instagram. Quartararo unfollowed Miller.
I'm gonna unfollow you because you got a better chest than me. Yeah. So Quartararo, Miller, and I'm gonna say Oliveira. I think. I stupidly left him out this week after picking him the week before.
Well done.
But I'm gonna put him back in this week. Yeah, so I think that'll be a random podium again.
Nice one.
In terms of bikes.
So how about you, Jacob?
I'm gonna go in no apparent order. Johan Zarco.
Zarco, yeah, shout.
Juan Mir.
Sure.
Mir, okay.
And Brad Binder.
Binder. No.
I think Quartararo is gonna struggle. I don't know why. Like, don't quote me on it. He'll probably win by a mile. But you know,
35 seconds win.
But you know, really just think like
1-2 for Yamaha.
I think the Yamaha is going to struggle here. I don't think, because it's so open, they can't follow riders. I don't know. I think this is going to be Quartararo's worst result, like where he finishes.
Yeah, fair play. Well, so I actually had a different rider. I had Alex Rins, but I did change Binder to Binder before you said Binder. Just going to put it on there. So I've got Binder, Oliveira and Quartararo, so we're going to have 2 KTMs on the box.
Could happen.
Yeah.
Could happen. No Ducatis.
No Ducatis.
I think
there's no straights, is there?
Oh, yeah, that's just one big straight with a little bit of a kink in it every now and again.
Yeah.
Ducati's a better bike, a more nimble bike than probably what we think.
Yeah.
I think if Zarco's going to win anyway, it's going to be the next couple of races. It's going to be year or the Austria races.
I really hope so. Yeah, but we'll have to see, eh?
I hope Zarco does win soon. I hope he's not doesn't do a Colin Edwards. That'd be horrible.
Oh, it would be terrible.
Oh my god!
It really would.
The irony there of that comment is Colin's closest thing to a win was Assen.
I know. Well, that's why I said it. Yeah, he came literally within the last chicane. Yeah. His bike still tried to win without him on it.
Big shame.
Love it. Big shout out Texas Tornado. Love Texas Tornado.
He's a legend. Apart from his being racist on Twitter. Yeah, he's alright.
I don't think he sees it as racist, unfortunately.
But we're going to end on that comment. Let's just say he's not very popular on Twitter for some of his things he says.
America! What have I missed?
Oh, you missed drama.
The home of the brave, boy.
I'll mention it off camera. But yes, I hope you've enjoyed listening to this podcast. It's rambled on a little bit. It's well over 2 hours, but if you've enjoyed, let us know. No, I'm not cutting it. If you've enjoyed, let us know in the DMs as always on Instagram. Your support is massively greatly appreciated. I love the fact that you are actually listening to us talk shite for 2 hours. We've got the SDK podcast coming this week, as we've mentioned, and I don't really know how to finish this one, but we'll see you next weekend. Just
feel free to fire any of us a message at Everything Motor Racing, at No Motor News, or at Pro53 Limited.
Yes. And we will...
Much love, everyone.
We'll just not respond to you and probably block you, but it's fine. No, we're not going to do that. Well, I've been called a fanboy so much today for celebrating Marc Marquez winning. It's like, bro, he's won.
You're a fanboy?
So, yeah, apparently I'm a fanboy.
Yeah, just accept it. It's fine.
You sent me a picture of you in a Marc Marquez t-shirt earlier.
Ah, right, okay.
And a cap.
Okay. I've got a t-shirt, but I ain't got a cap, so...
He actually shaved the 93 into his dog.
That's
got a cat called Mark.
Yeah. Yeah, I got Mark and I got Valentino the dog. But he's a bit old these days, so I might have to put him
Mark
down.
And Valet.
Back legs don't work.
The cat gives the dog jip all the time.
Yeah. They keep crashing into each other. Yeah.
You should have seen them in 2015 when they were really at it.
Yeah, the dog just constantly kicks the cat, mate. Honestly,
going at it like cats and dogs.
Yeah.
Why would we do that?
This is not going to go well. Oh well, I'm not even going to cut this either. So yeah, whatever. My integrity has gone out the window.
Yeah, this has been that long. I don't think they'll get you, so it's fine.
No one's listening. No one is literally listening. I can do whatever.
Like there's just people like collapsed on the floor with flies buzzing around them at this point. It's been that long.
They're like, oh, come on, I'm bored. They're probably literally sat in now, like, just finish the podcast, man.
Oh, yeah. Find a load of, like, skeletons and stuff and people with earphones in listening to the podcast and it'll still be on, like, 35 minutes. And then they'll just press play and be like,
what the
years' time.
Like the skeleton,
that's why. That's why. But yes, I hope you've enjoyed this. It's the third time I'm wrapping it up now. I hope you enjoyed this podcast. We're back next weekend after Assen. And, yeah, ciao, ciao.
Laters.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao. Ciao.
You know, in terms of Moto America, and obviously there's a whole debate about the 636, etc. Yeah. Would you allow it if you were in charge?
Jacob.
Hey, come on.
Like, in terms of
here,
because obviously Kawasaki, it does seem to have a slight top end advantage over the other bikes because it's extra 36cc.
So my nice response is no, and my bad response is fuck no.
I like it. I rate it.
Yeah.